By Getty Unlimited Plus. Take your cap off to Getty. By Belmont Park, the best thoroughbred racing in America. And by your local Hillside Bedding Store and Sealy Mattress.
Live from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York, Sports Channel presents New York Yankee Baseball. Today, the Yankees take on the Boston Red Sox. Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. Fran Healy with me. On this day, 44 years ago, July 4th, 1939, it was Lou Gehrig Day. The New York Yankee organization, the players, fans, people from coast to coast showed their appreciation of the great player and Yankee captain who on his 36th birthday, just shortly before June 19th, was ruled off the field of play for the final time by physicians of Mayo Clinic, who told him he had the dreaded disease and not long to live, ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It was a day of sadness, and yet a day for the celebration of former Vice President and President of the United States, Nixon, out here on this Independence Day. As the fans applaud Chuck Mangione and for playing the national anthem. And here comes somebody down in a parachute, celebrating July 4th with Old Glory. Caught in the wind, and now the parachute opens, and down he comes, and let's see where he lands, taking the pitcher's mound as our target. I'm just picking out the target. I don't know what his target is, but here he comes. The umpires, we'll give you their names in a minute, are backing away from home plate, I'll tell you that. How about that? Let's see where he is. Yeah, he's going to try to land around the pitcher's mound, but he's going to be off the target, maybe around second base. He's swinging back around left center, and that's behind shortstop. And now let's watch the next one. As the crowd roars their applause for the first man who came down. And he is headed out toward right center at the moment. And he swings back in at about the same spot behind second base. Now, is that number 3? We got the shift on the left side of the infield. That's number 4. And they cross in midair. One's going toward left field, one toward right field. And as they now come into our view, one should go to the right of second base and the other one out in left field. And there he is, right near the mound. And this one is out in left field. And there's another one out in center field that just came down. How about that? Boy, they're hitting right on in the area of the target. July 4th at Yankee Stadium, and Old Glory waves proudly as the Yankees proudly take the field. And a hand for the parachutists and the Yankees. Doing the pitching, Dave Righetti with a record of 9-3, going for his 10th win. The Red Sox beat him last time out, Fran Healy, up at Fenway on June 24th. He went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits and 5 runs. But last Wednesday, he pitched perhaps the finest game I think he's pitched since being a Yankee, when he overpowered the Baltimore Orioles, pitching his first major league shutout.
Well, he'll have a test today. His stamina will be tested today because it's 94 degrees right now and very humid, but Dave Righetti, a big, strong guy, and as I mentioned, that overpowering fastball. So it's a test for Righetti.
Behind Dave Righetti, at first base, young Don Mattingly, playing very well as he'd been brought up, and then Andre Robertson at second base, Roy Smalley at shortstop, a late starter at third, Bert Campaneris in place of Nettles. Out in left field is Lou Piniella, in center field, Dave Winfield, and in right field, Steve Kemp. Back of the plate is Butch Weiniger. And on the mound for New York is Mr. Rags. That's his nickname, Rags. Dave Righetti with a record of 9-3. He'll be opposed by John Tudor of the Red Sox, who beat Righetti the last time the Yanks and Red Sox faced one another at Fenway. They were the opposing pitchers on June 24th. And so we're ready to go. Jerry Remy moving up to the batter's box. Wade Boggs on deck. Jim Rice to follow. And all set to articulate the description of this game in his best Independence Day voice. None other than Francis Xavier Healy of Sports Channel.
Thank you very much, Mel Allen. Jerry Remy batting .249, no home runs, 25 RBIs, takes ball 1 from Dave Righetti. Remy, one of the speedsters, about the year 1974-75 with the California Angels. 1-1. Now he's playing in his backyard. He's from Fall River, born and brought up in Fall River, Massachusetts. Got to be a big thrill for Jerry Remy playing with the Boston Red Sox.
And he's been a very good leadoff man.
Yes, he has.
And in this series, too.
1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, I'm surprised, Mel, but maybe it's the wall in Fenway Park where they play for the big inning that Jerry Remy didn't steal a lot of bases as a Red Sox second baseman. Rhythmic applause, hoping for the strikeout. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Remy. 2-2.
Even in his shutout, in his last time out, one of Dave Righetti's problems is even when he's getting ahead of the hitter, he'll still throw a couple of pitches wide of the mark. Throws too many pitches.
Count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dave Righetti pitching 94-degree heat. As I mentioned, a test for a pitcher. Nice crowd on hand for this 4th of July game between the Red Sox and the Yankees, and a giveaway day here at the stadium. They're giving away everything. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Foul back out of play.
They giving you away?
Everybody.
I don't know what your number is, they call it.
Okay.
I know what mine is. 0, 0, 0.
A lot of prizes out here. A lot of gifts, I should say.
When I say give you away, I mean just for tomorrow.
Just for a night.
Just for a day.
That's it. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the leadoff batter, Jerry Remy. You're looking at Dave Righetti. Swing and he missed, strike 3. Here's a good fastball right here, Mel Allen.
Tailing back toward the left-hand batter, but it's up a little high, too.
Yeah, it's tough. That overpowering fastball, you get that ball a little high, it'll take off, and by the time the batter swings at the ball will have jumped out of the strike zone. One man down on the top of the first inning. The batter for the Red Sox, Wade Boggs. Mel?
That was the 78th strikeout this season for Righetti.
Here's a contact hitter. Wade Boggs takes up high, ball one. By the way, the Yankees right now, coming into today's action, 40-35, 2.5 behind the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Boston Red Sox, 39-37, 4 games off the pace. 1-1 on Wade Boggs.
You know, I've heard rumors, and they may be nothing more than that the Red Sox would like to come up with a good defensive third baseman and make Boggs a DH next year. Which wouldn't be a bad idea. He's a good hitter.
Al Clark, third base umpire, on appeal says that Wade Boggs did not swing the bat. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wade Boggs, he can hit. He's been a good hitter throughout his career. 2-2.
He had a good rip and a pretty good pitch.
Yes, he did.
It moved in on him.
Righetti with good ball movement right now, which is the most important thing for a pitcher. When you're in the strike zone, you want that ball to move. Here it is.
Watch that ball move in on him.
Major league hitters are not intimidated by a fastball pitcher whose ball is straight. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3.
That was a beautiful pitch for location. Right over the outside part of the plate. Fastball, and he caught Boggs looking. Look at that ball. It sliced off a piece of that plate away from the hitter.
And the batter now, Jim Rice. Rice batting .299, 22 home runs, 58 RBIs. He has hit 6 homers in his last 4 games. He is red hot.
Just like today. I'll tell you, that man is a man that you better not put the pitch, as far as location is concerned, in the wrong place and with velocity. He is probably the strongest, physically, strongest man in the league.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Tony Salito had that honor, I think, for a while before he left the league.
Yes, he did. This guy here has a nice, short, compact swing, almost like a singles hitter, but he hits a long ball, and he hits it very long.
Quick wrists.
Foul backing out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the first here at Yankee Stadium, 2 out. And there's a look at the crowd. Here's a look at that swing. Jim Rice in action.
What people have to remember is you got to look at those legs. He is strong all the way up the thighs.
Listen to this crowd. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dave Righetti has pitched to 2 men so far, struck out both batters, Jerry Remy and Wade Boggs. There's a look at the crowd here. 4th of July. It's 4th of July every place. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Rice.
Well, except where there's an international date line.
3-2.
And don't ask me what date it is.
All right.
It's either a day later or a day earlier. A day later, I think. If you're going toward Japan. If you're going the other way, oh, well.
Okay. Dave Righetti.
Anyway, that's the USA's day of celebration.
9 wins, 3 losses for the left-hander. The 3-2 pitch to Rice. Ball 4. Well, Righetti right there threw that fastball down and in. If that ball comes back out over the plate and it just nips the corner, Mr. Rice is in trouble because he would have had a pitcher's pitch.
That was a case of power against power, and sometimes, in fact, most of the time, the pitcher will get it by you. Because if you're a 300 hitter, you're retired 7 out of every 10 charged at bats.
You're imperfect. And here's the guy right there, Tony Armas, batting .241. Check that. Yeah, .241, 18 home runs, 48 RBIs. Strike 1, Armas. He was involved in a trade sending Carney Lansford to the Oakland A's. Carney Lansford has been hit with a series of injuries out there, has played very little, and Armas has been on a tear in Boston. Foul tip, no balls, 2 strikes. Armas, a good outfielder. He was signed by the Pirates, traded to the A's. Jack McKeon was the manager at the time in Oakland, made a deal with the Pirates, picked up about 5 players. They did a great job in Oakland, and now Armas is in a hitter's paradise up in Boston. 0-2 on Armas. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tried to get him to go fishing. He wanted a fastball that tails away from a right-hand batter, but they didn't want him to make it too good. That's it.
Strike 3. So Dave Righetti sends 3 Red Sox down on strikes here in the first. For the Red Sox, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left at the end of a half inning of play here at the stadium. No score, both Sox and the Yanks.
We always run faster together. Maybe it's the baton. Maybe it's the way we push each other.
Out your best, Budweiser alive. Bring out your best, Budweiser alive. Bring out your best.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it.
Want to win $50,000? Just guess the number of Rawlings baseballs we'll use to fill the Toyota Yankee bullpen car.
Write the number on an entry blank from any participating Toyota dealer. 1 entry per person.
Best guess wins $50,000.
And the Toyota Yankee bullpen car.
The $50,000 Toyota Yankee Baseball Grand Slam.
At your tri-state Toyota dealers.
1,000.
65.
1,000.
66.
1,000.
68.
1,000.
Oh, missed one. 69.
Hillside Betting Sealy New York Yankees Player of the Month. The Hillside Betting Sealy Mattress Yankee Player of the Month for June, Andre Robertson. Andre will receive his choice of any Sealy Posturepedic Hall Crest 2 or 3 style in twin, full, or queen size, courtesy of Hillside Betting Stores and Sealy Mattress. Oh, I'd like to be stretched out on one of them right now with air conditioning. Behind Tudor, got Dave Stapleton at first base, Jerry Remy at second, Glenn Hoffman at short, and Wade Boggs at third, Rice in left, Armas in center, Evans in right, Newman catching. Tudor pitching to Bert Campaneris.
And Campaneris tries the bunt, fouls off the first pitch. No balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the first inning here at Yankee Stadium. No score, Red Sox and the Yanks. Campaneris was inserted into the Yankee lineup about 10 minutes ago as Campaneris bunts foul again. No balls, 2 strikes. Greg Nettles was scheduled to start in bat second for the Yankees, but he was a late scratch. Usually helps a guy when he doesn't know he's in the lineup. Then he finds himself in the lineup, and he's very relaxed. Up high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, John Tudor, not a power pitcher. Should be in better shape if you're not a power pitcher and you're pitching on a hot day, because the power pitcher puts everything into every pitch. Line drive, base hit. Bert Campaneris leading off for the Yankees here in the bottom of the first. And Campy picking up a base hit.
Before Don Mattingly bats, a reminder again, we only had time to tell you very quickly that Greg Nettles was scheduled to start, was in the lineup, but he had conjunctivitis of the eye, or simply put, pink eye.
There goes Campaneris, throw to second, not in time. Campaneris with a big jump off John Tudor.
There he goes. Got a good jump, as Fran told you. And the throw down by Newman is high and away anyway. So he was able to slide underneath. Even if the ball had been more on target, he could have slid underneath the tag. Another view of it.
1 ball, no strikes to Don Mattingly. Here's Bert Campaneris. He has stolen many bases over his career. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. By the way, number 3 for Campy this year.
Hey, you know, for a 41-year-old guy, he does all right.
Yes, he does. 2 balls, no strikes on Don Mattingly. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. And Mattingly, it's a fly ball left field. Jim Rice is there. makes the play for out number 1. Well, mixed reaction to Big Dave Winfield. Dave Winfield right now batting .244, 13 home runs and 46 RBIs. Jeff Newman flashing signs and location to John Tudor. Inside, ball 1. Tough day for a catcher, tougher day for an umpire behind the plate. He's there all day. We talked to Butch Weiniger before the game, and we'll show you we'll hear his comments during the game about the heat. The 1-0 pitch is popped foul and back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. You know, it's amazing, Dave Winfield, as you look at that swing again, Mel Allen.
That high kick hides the ball a little bit. Dave, that ball moved in on his handle of his bat.
It's amazing when you're in a slump. That ball looks smaller than a golf ball coming up there.
I'd like to see him stand flat-footed for just a little while and swing. Well, stand flat-footed and stride into the ball. He keeps moving those feet around.
He was behind that fastball right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's that swing again.
You see, as you bounce, the ball bounces too, as you're looking at it. Same way when you're trying to field it.
But when he's hitting well, he does that. So, you know, I think it's difficult to make some adjustments and go away from success. Even when you're in a slump, I think it'll foul you up mentally if you try to make too many adjustments.
Well, that's one adjustment only I was talking about. For example, they tell me, since he was such a great hitter, Ty Cobb, when he got in a slump, he'd start bunting the ball. And he'd bunt, kept on bunting, and he gradually would increase his swing from the bunting position until he got the bat back up on his shoulder and had his rhythm back.
Well, I think if you can bunt, there's Bert Campaneris leading off second base. I think if you can bunt for a hit, you should. Because what you're doing when you're in a slump is you're pressing for a base hit. It becomes an insurmountable obstacle. You got to get that base hit. Once you get it, it seems to relax you, and the only way you can really play baseball or really any sport is in a relaxed state. But anyways, Dave Winfield is fighting the slump. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Campaneris leading off second base. 1 out, bottom of the first. No score. Red Sox and the Yanks up high, ball 4. And when you're in a slump, even a walk feels good.
Oh, yeah. That walk, while not intentional, could have possibly been what we often referred to, quote, unquote, an intentional walk. First base was open, 1 out, and you're bringing up a hitter who's a good hitter, but still often will hit a ground ball, and he doesn't have speed, could into a double play and end the inning.
Well, let me ask you, Lou Piniella has had a hot hand recently. Would you rather pitch to him or to Winfield? Now, Winfield is an RBI man, more so than Lou.
Well, you're talking about the middle of the lineup. That generally does. All of these fellows are RBI guys, your number 3, 4, and 5 hitters, as a rule. It depends on the pitcher.
And what kind of success he's had against the hitter in the past.
Look out for a pickoff.
Campaneris really disturbing the defense, and he really did that. He drove everybody crazy when he played for the Oakland A's.
He's had both Remy and Hoffman darting over.
Well, the Yankees have runners on first and second with 1 man out. John Tudor pitching to Lou Piniella. Outside, ball 1.
Talking about a defense, see, with Winfield on first, Ralph Howell doesn't have Stapleton holding against him. He's got Stapleton playing deep because Piniella can go to right field, and that cuts down that hole between first and second.
There's a line drive right at shortstop, and Hoffman takes it himself, and it's a double play for the Red Sox. John Tudor pitching out of a jam here in the bottom of the first. As you look at that again, Mel.
Line drive right at the shortstop. Glenn Hoffman just darted a step or two to his left. Started to throw to Remy and saw he had plenty of time to take it by himself for the unassisted double play.
And for the Yanks here in the first.
When your car's front wheels run out of line, handling's poor, and front tires wear out fast, time to turn it over to Goodyear for a front-end alignment. The Goodyear service store will align your front wheels for smooth handling and better performance for miles to come. So get a front-end alignment at Goodyear now.
And we'll also safety check all 4 tires.
Get a front-end alignment at Goodyear now at this low price. Come up to Goodyear.
Next week, the excitement's on Sports Channel when National League Baseball comes your way. Sports Channel brings you live action as the New York Mets take on the Cincinnati Reds and the Houston Astros. In the American League, the Bronx Bombers battle the Texas Rangers live from Yankee Stadium. Host Fran Healy talks with Baltimore Orioles star Jim Palmer in Cruising to the Hall of Fame. Sports Channel brings you exciting action-packed supercross racing from the Astrodome in Houston. And if that's not enough, join us for thoroughbred action and inside racing, all next week on Sports Channel.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees, intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Yankees and Sports Channel is prohibited. As the Red Sox come to bat here in the second inning, Dwight Evans, Reed Nichols, and Dave Stapleton will be the first 3 men of it to come to bat against Braggs. Dave Righetti. The Red Sox have won the last 2 games. Yankees won the first game of this series. The Red Sox coaches, the man on your left coaching at third, Eddie Yost, and on your right, Tommy Harper. And Eddie Yost had played with Washington most of his American League career. And he led off, Fran, and it was amazing how many bases on balls he got.
Call him the walking man?
Yep.
You know that guy at first base coach, Tommy Harper, is one of, I think, 5 that hit 30 home runs and stole 38 bases in a single season.
That was over in the National League.
No, he did it Milwaukee Brewers.
Milwaukee Brewers, that's right.
But anyways, Dwight Evans is the batter. He has no balls, 1 strike. Top of the second inning, no score. Red Sox and the Yanks. 1-1. Dwight Evans, in his career, Mel Allen, it's amazing. He has 105 assists as an outfielder. 10-year veteran, great throwing arm, and a great defensive outfielder. 1-2.
With due respect, and I give this man, you talking about Evans?
Yes.
All the credit in the world. Hello there, Sonny boy, or darling. Hey, excuse me, I got to go eat too.
And the 1-2 pitch up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You were going to say all due respect to this man, Dwight Evans.
I meant to say all due respect to this man, Dwight Evans.
Okay. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and miss, strike 3, and number 4 for Dave Righetti.
81 on the season. Look at there. That fastball tailing away from the right-hand batter. After a while, these good hitters, and the Red Sox got a lot of them, fastball hitters, they start to zero in. The thing is, will the pitcher be able to keep his stuff, his velocity, his location?
Yeah, that heat will take its toll, especially in a power pitcher. As you look at Reed Nichols, he takes ball 1 from Dave Righetti. You know, talking about the Red Sox and maybe their reluctance to use their speed, Reed Nichols in the minor leagues stole 66 bases 1 year. He's got 2 this year. You think it's they look for the big inning because of Fenway Park, Mel Allen?
What league was that in? They were 45 foot?
No, it was an A-ball. He can run. Jerry Remy.
Little League. Well,
Jerry Remy hasn't stolen many bases.
I'm just joking about the Little League.
Well, anyways, Reed Nichols doing a fine job for the Red Sox. 2 balls, no strikes. And he hits a fly ball right field, Steve Kemp there. Makes the play, 2 outs. Well, Dave Righetti taking an opportunity to use his defense. Up until that out, he was doing it all by himself. He has 4 strikeouts, and the batter now, Dave Stapleton. 2 men out, top of the 2nd inning. Red Sox and the Yankees, no score.
I'll have to remind Phil Rizzuto he played under Eddie Stanky at University of South Alabama.
I understand Stanky is a very popular college coach there. Stapleton, by the way, batting .214, 3 home runs, 33 RBIs. He takes strike 1. Talking about the Red Sox and speed. Did they ever have a year, Mel, where it stood out in your mind they stole a lot of bases?
No, not to the degree that I remember a given year.
And the Yankees were never known for stealing a lot of bases.
No, they would have a man or two, like Ben Chapman, stole 61 one year before I came up. I remember him because he was from Alabama and was all-state halfback and fullback, high school. Went to Purdue for 2 weeks, changed his mind, and signed with the Yankees.
And the 2-1 pitch to Stapleton is popped up in the air and Mattingly over by the wall, but it's out of play.
Ages ago, they had to follow. I think he was originally actually lived in Baltimore, named Fritz Mazel, that stole a lot of bases.
I believe his son's a writer now, isn't he?
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Stapleton. Stapleton has been, well, he's experienced a tremendous slump up there in Boston. He's been a fine hitter until he ran into that slump, but it hits all ball players. Righetti's 2-2 pitch. Swing on a miss, right 3. And now through 2 innings of play, Dave Righetti has struck out 5 Red Sox batters. Here's that pitch again, Mel Allen.
An overhand fastball, and it sank a little bit. He swung over.
And for the Red Sox, here in the 2nd, 3 up, 3 down after 1.5 here at the stadium. No score, Red Sox and the Yanks.
Getty, I take my cap off to you. Your Unleaded Plus saves me money. It costs less than Unleaded Premium.
Getty, I take my cap off to you. You've made it a lot easier for me to pay for your gasoline.
People everywhere are taking their caps off to Getty. Because Getty's got the grades of gasoline for just about any car on the road today.
Getty, I take my cap off to you.
Take your cap off to Getty.
Don't ever be fooled by size. According to tests run on football, baseball, and other pro athletes, pound for pound, the jockey is the best conditioned of all. And America's best jockeys are right here in New York City at Belmont Park. Because that's where you'll find America's best racing. You can bet on it. Be there. They will.
For everybody who's been making do, I'm doing without. The Bank of New York introduces the Goodbye Loan.
Goodbye, old clunker.
Besides auto loans,
Goodbye, Dockside Blues.
we've got boat loans to help you sail away from it all. And home improvement loans, all at some of the lowest rates around.
Goodbye, old paint.
So say goodbye to just getting by with a Goodbye Loan, only from the Bank of New York.
On the Sports Channel scoreboard, in the American League, the White Sox lead the Twins 2-0 at the end of 2 innings. Detroit leads Baltimore 3-0 at the end of the 1st inning. Milwaukee at Cleveland tonight. Kansas City at California, Texas at Oakland. Later on, and Seattle at Toronto tonight. Don Baylor leading off, top of the 2nd, no score. And again, Fran Healy.
And Don Baylor.
Last of the 2nd, excuse me.
Okay, Don Baylor takes ball 1 from John Tudor. Baylor batting .298, 8 home runs, 32 RBIs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
First game, a doubleheader at Pittsburgh. You look at the National League. The Pirates beat the Cardinals 7-2.
Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
At the end of 3 innings of the first game at Chicago, Montreal leading the Cubs 4-0.
Popped up. Newman in pursuit, but it's out of play.
Continuing our look now at the Sports Channel scoreboard, Cincinnati, Atlanta tonight, and Los Angeles at Houston, San Francisco at San Diego tonight. That's the Sports Channel scoreboard.
Well, Montreal in the Eastern Division in the penthouse, 1 game in front of the Phillies and the Cards. In the Western Division, the Dodgers and the Braves all tied up. San Diego 7.5 back. Texas leading the Western Division of the American League as Don Baylor takes ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Rangers with a 2-game lead over the Angels. White Sox 4.5 back. As I mentioned earlier, Toronto Blue Jays occupying the penthouse in the Eastern Division of the American League, 1 game over Baltimore. So Don Baylor right there, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Talking about the Angels, he was in California last year with the Angels. And as a free agent, signed with the Yanks. He's second on the Yanks with 74 hits, and he hits a high fly ball in left field. Tough sun field. Here comes Rice. 1 out.
Fran, to give you an idea, I had a chance to quickly check the stats about the Yankees' stolen bases career. They had Hal Chase back in the early 1900s, career 248, but now Roy White had 233. And Mazel had 183, but Rizzuto had 149, Lazari 147, Randolph 178 going into this season. So they never had what you would call a running team to mount anything.
Well, here's a guy, if he has a shortcoming, it's his speed of foot. Butch Weiniger batting .307, 5 home runs, 19 RBIs, 1 ball, 1 strike on the Yankee catcher. And he hits a rocket. It gets through, bogs his legs, and out into left field. Weiniger hustling into second base. As Jim Rice flips the ball back in, Butch Weiniger's on second base. Score it, Mel.
I got to give him an error on this one, because watch it. While it's hard hit, he got a good hop on it, but it went right through his legs. Right there, just like I had a hole in his glove.
Well, Wade Boggs said, if I miss it, I want it to miss me. And it scored E5. So the Yankees with a runner on second base. And the batter now, Steve Kemp. Kemp batting .268, 9 home runs, 37 RBIs. Talking about those stolen bases, the guy I thought that was going to steal a lot for the Yankees until he was traded was Mick the Quick.
Oh, yeah. George Sternwise stole a lot of bases. But interesting thing to me, Babe Ruth, believe it or not, stole 110 bases in his career. Bruce Hurst loosening up for the Red Sox.
1-0 pitch is fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Steve Kemp. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. No score, Red Sox and the Yanks.
Fran, would you think that Ralph Howe, pitching coach, or the catcher, may have told him something? Maybe the pitcher, Tudor.
There's a possibility.
He's only given up 1 hit.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
And they already got somebody loosening up.
Also, the heat. You got to project, I'm sure, if you're a manager and a pitching coach, as Steve Kemp takes strike 2. There's Ralph Hawk on the right and Carl Yastrzemski on the left. There's Billy Martin.
Hey, Billy's going into the hospital tonight.
Well, you're going to wish him good luck. As Kemp hits a chopper to first. And the flip to Tudor. 2 down.
It moved Weiniger on over to third on the play.
So Dave Stapleton doing the job for the Red Sox at first base. He's played a lot of positions for the Red Sox, and you're looking at a guy for the Yanks who's played many positions. Roy Smalley. Smalley batting .280, 10 home runs, 31 RBIs.
There's the guy who plays second, short, third, and also is a switch hitter. As Casey Stengel would say, as you just looked at that high pitch for a ball, Weiniger, another switch hitter on third. That's 5 things my man can do.
That's right.
That's the way Casey would put it.
And at one time, being a utility player, or playing a lot of positions, was not good, as Weininger bluffs way down at third baseline.
He came a third of the way home.
He said, if I'm going to get tired in this heat, I'm going all out. He's going to catch 9 innings.
You wouldn't expect Weininger, with his comparative slowness of foot, to go that far toward the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike on Smalley. Fouls the ball back. 1-2. By the way, on a day like today, Mel, even the hitters are a little bit slow because it's hot and humid down there. The pitcher, although Righetti hasn't been slow, not for 2 innings, struck out 5 batters in 2 innings, so he has to feel very strong. And the 1-2 pitch to Smalley is chopped to first. Stapleton makes the play, and that'll do it for the Yanks here in the bottom of the second. For the Yanks, no runs, no hits, and 1 error. 1 man left on base. At the end of 2, no score. Red Sox and the Yanks.
If America's roads are giving you more than your share of bumps, Monroe has the answer.
Buy one, get the second one half price on Monroe-Maddox and Radio-Maddox at Circle Brake Service at 200 River Street in Hackensack.
Yes, from now on, America, with Monroe Shocks, the bump stops here.
Costco, North Jersey's largest AMC, Jeep, and Renault dealership, leads the pack in smashing savings. Costco presents the Renault Alliance, Motor Trend's Car of the Year, and the Eagle, SX4 from AMC. Costco Jeeps and pre-owned vehicles complete your selection, and take advantage of our qualified technicians in the fully stocked parts department. Costco invites you over to watch us take a swing at our competitors' prices. Costco, Route 17 South, Paramus.
Finally got my break in 1982 to join the Boston Red Sox, and made the best of it when Carney Lansford went down.
Oh, somebody always has to leave to give somebody else a chance.
And he did make the best of it.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, in fact, Wade Boggs is trailing Rod Carew in average in the American League. But anyways, Jeff Newman, the catcher for the Red Sox, will lead it off as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. No score, Red Sox and the Yanks. Newman came over in that trade with the Oakland A's, bringing Armas to the Red Sox and sending Carney Lansford to the Oakland A's. Righetti's first pitch, strike 1.
Here's Bill White coming in. Told you I was going to go get something to eat.
Okay, Mel.
See you a little bit later, Coach.
All right, Mel. And down low to Newman, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wait a minute. No balls, 2 strikes. Jeff Newman is not happy with the call. It was appealed to first base umpire Rick Reed. So no balls, 2 strikes on Jeff Newman. Here it is again. You be the judge. Newman still not happy. 0-2 on Jeff Newman. No score. Top of the 3rd, Red Sox and the Yanks. Ball foul out of play. Count stays 0-2. Well, Bill White, as Ernie Banks used to say, great day for 2.
Yeah, and also when Banks said that, he fell out. I think that was in Houston when the old ballpark, that cold stadium, that Ernie fainted.
He fainted the first game of a doubleheader. No balls, 2 strikes on Newman. 1-2. Righetti seems to be very strong today.
He's throwing mostly fastballs, too. He, once in a while, he throws that hard curve or slider. He's just simply throwing the ball past these people.
2-2. Remember the Oakland A's talking about all fastballs. Catfish, Kenny Holtzman and Vida Blue, in their prime, seem to throw 90% fastball.
You can get away with that if your ball moves a little bit and you've got good control of it.
2-2 pitch. Did he check it? They're appealing. He was upset. That last pitch, Rick Reed said he did not go around.
That's a tough...
Difficult to see how they feel about the name.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
A little reminiscent of that ball game that Ron Guidry pitched here against the California Angels when he struck out 18. He swung well on top of that slider, breaking down and in.
I'll never forget that game Guidry pitched, and that was a night game. I'll tell you, if this guy does it today, they should give him a special award.
Well, you hope he can hang around about 7 or 8 innings for throwing like that.
I know.
Humidity here.
I think it would take its toll on a power pitcher more so than a finesser.
Well, that's what he's got to do, continue to throw strikes and try not to throw too many pitches.
No balls, 1 strike, and Jerry Remy. Never forget Jerry Remy's first game in the big league. Steve Busby was pitching for Kansas City. Remy got a base hit and sent Mickey Rivers to third. It was 1st and 3rd. As he takes down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Busby had that trick move, and a great one where he faked the third to the first. Oh, poor Remy. He just got his first base hit. Busby picked him off with the first pitch. And it wasn't even close. A 1-1 pitch. 2-1. Talking to Mel Allen about stolen bases. I'm surprised he hasn't stolen more bases.
Remy's had leg problems the last couple of years. His knees have bothered him, and plus he's a little older. It sort of slows you down a little bit.
And the Red Sox never really had a guy, although Tommy Harper, I guess, stole some bases when he played with the Red Sox, but I can't think of anybody else. As Remy waits for the 2-1 pitch, and it's a ground ball to short. Smalley, the first, in time. Nice pick by Don Mattingly, and that'll do it for the Red Sox here in the top of the 3rd. 3 up, 3 down, and after 2.5 innings of play, no score, Red Sox and the Yanks.
It's not just a race, it's a game. If they think I'm tired, maybe they'll make their move.
Bring out your best.
Then I'll make mine.
Bring out your best. Budweiser alive. Bring out your best. Budweiser alive.
The best. You found it in yourself, and now you found it in the beer you drink.
Budweiser Light.
Whether it's a race circuit on the streets of Long Beach, the Mojave Desert, or the steep inclines of Pikes Peak, Dan Gurney and his Toyota Supra accept the challenge.
Moves the road better than some race cars.
The Supra's twin-cam, 6-cylinder, electronically fuel-injected engine, the rack and pinion steering, the independent rear suspension, and 4-wheel disc brakes give Supra the stuff to do it right. The Toyota Supra.
And this is the right stuff.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Hiya, folks. I'm Leo Steiner from the Carnegie Delicatessen. Now, if you're not hungry, don't even bother listening to this. But I got the best corned beef, the best pastrami. I make my own. I got Novi. Oh, my God, look at that sandwich. Now we got to feed people. People are hungry. The president and them were hungry down in the summit. And all the world leaders ate my stuff. If you don't want corned beef and pastrami, you can have Novi and blintzes and matzo ball soup. You name it, we got it. Listen, now don't forget, folks, the Carnegie, 7th Avenue, 55th.
Get ready for high-speed stock car racing as America's top stock car drivers race for $40,000 in prize money. As Sports Channel presents the Kelly American Challenge from Lime Rock, Connecticut. Wednesday night at 7:30 on Sports Channel.
Andre Robertson, it's a bullet, but Jim Rice has plenty of room. 1 down.
You can check listings for date and time in New England.
Well, everybody was concerned about Andre Robertson's bat, Bill White.
Well, I think they were rightly concerned a couple of years ago because Andre really had a bad stroke, but Lou Pinella's helped him.
And
He's got him arms down, and he stays away from that high pitch.
Coming into today's action, he's batting .268, 1 home run, 13 RBI, so he's been doing the job not only defensively, but offensively. As you look at Bert Campaneris, 1 ball, no strikes, 1-1. How about this guy? He's done a fine job.
Young fella. Bert knows what it is to be in the big leagues. He doesn't want to go back to the minor leagues anymore. The Yankees got him from a league in Mexico, and he's making the most of his chance here.
2-1 pitch is looped in the right center field. Base hit for Campaneris. Big turn at first base, but he moves back. So Campaneris now 2 for 2 in this game.
Here's again, a ball is in on Bert. He's going to the right side and just gets it out of reach of the second baseman, Remy. And Evans will play it on the second hop. And Campaneris holds it first.
He stole a base when he was down there last time. Don Mattingly, the batter, he's 0 for 1. He flied to left field his first time up. Campaneris is checked at first by John Tudor. Dave Stapleton holding him on. Once again. It's amazing. You mentioned how Campaneris wants to stay in the big leagues, and he's been in the big leagues a long time. Some guys lose that edge. Wonder why.
They lose, well,
They
first
lose
of
the
all, they
edge.
lose the ability to play. I think with age, Campy's always taken good care of his body. I think that's the important thing. Mentally, you want to play, but your body won't let you do what your mind wants to do. But Campaneris has kept himself in excellent shape, and I think that's important.
There's certain guys I think that might still have the ability, but not that that drive,
Desire,
that
drive, or
fire, that inner drive. As Manley takes strike one, no balls, 1 strike. You think it's because financially they're set?
You mean today's player?
Yeah.
I think it's you can do something for a while, but I think all the guys that are making good money have pretty good egos. They want to play the game. And that's why they're making that kind of money. Every athlete down there thinks that he probably is the best athlete playing today, or it wouldn't be there. Even those guys sitting on the bench think they should be playing. So I really, I don't think it's too much of that, although some people don't want to play anymore when they get hurt.
You know, it's amazing that this guy, Campaneris, now he signed as a free agent with the California Angels. I'm assuming he got a pretty good contract there, and yet he went to Mexico to prove himself once again at the age of 41.
And he's done it. And he's still doing it up here.
Might be a great example for young players when the Yankees bring young players to the big leagues. They're arguing about John Tudor blocking. There's Ralph Houck. Tell me, I never played for Ralph, but all the guys that played for him said he was a player's manager.
Don't hear too many players say it. In fact, I haven't heard one player say anything negative about Ralph Houck. He protects his players.
Here goes Campaneris. And Mattingly pops the ball up. Stapleton in pursuit, Remy in pursuit. Remy makes the play, throw to first, in time. So that'll do it for the Yankees here in the bottom of the third. As you watch that play again, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on base at the end of 3 complete innings of play here at the stadium. No score, Red Sox and the Yankees.
There is only one Honda dealer, Honda of Mineola.
Costco, North Jersey's largest AMC, Jeep, and Renault dealership, leads the pack in smashing savings. Costco presents the Renault Alliance, Motor Trend's Car of the Year, and the Eagle SX4 from AMC. Costco Jeeps and pre-owned vehicles complete your selection, and take advantage of our qualified technicians in the fully stocked parts department. Costco invites you over to watch us take a swing at our competitors' prices. Costco, Route 17 South, Paramus.
Yankees will play the Texas Rangers in a 4-game weekend series to open up their next homestand. That's July 14th through 17th. The series will be highlighted by the annual Old Timers game. That'll be on Saturday, July 16th. So don't miss seeing your favorite old-timers, including the newest old-timer, former Yankee Bobby Mercer, who participated in his first old-timers game this year. That's the Yankees against the Texas Rangers, July 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th, and the special day, Old-Timers Day, on Saturday, July 16th. I guess that's right, Fran Healy. Bobby Mercer now becomes an old-timer, and he'll have to do double duty here on Saturday, July 16th.
He and Scooter will be down on the field.
I hope he comes back up. Scooter gets lost somewhere between the field and the booth on Old Timers Day.
Well, right now, the batter for the Red Sox here in the top of the fourth will be Wade Boggs. He struck out his first time up. In fact, so far, not too many guys haven't struck out against Dave Righetti. Righetti right now is fourth in the American League in strikeouts. He has 84. Wade Boggs has turned into a good major league hitter, Bill White.
Yes, he has. He hits the ball the other way. Everything to the left field.
Up high, ball one. Why is it that Latin players, more so than the American players, use the whole field?
Why? I don't know.
And they're not really known for the home runs, although Armas says, here's a fly ball to center field, and Dave Winfield makes the play, 1 out. A Latin player that was known for home runs, and I can remember one guy comes to mind, Orlando Cepeda. I mean, he could hit home runs, but he hit the ball the other way.
Orlando, I think you'll find that most good hitters, and let's face it, when they first went into, as we watched Boggs hit the ball straight away, when they first went into Latin America, they bought the best players out, the best young players, and they're all good hitters. And all good hitters use the whole field. Very seldom you see, outside of Ted Williams, you very seldom see a great hitter who just simply pulls the ball all the time. But Cepeda, Roberto Clemente, guys like that can hit the ball and they hit everywhere.
Here's a guy that uses the whole field, and with power, Jim Rice, 1 ball, no strikes. He walked his first time up, and he hits a high fly ball to right field. Steve Kemp's under it, makes the play, 2 outs.
One of the better hitters also from Puerto Rico was Vic Power, who played the Yankees Kansas City farm team. Never played with the Yankees, but played with Cleveland and I think with Kansas City. But Vic hit the ball all over the place.
He could pick it.
He's one of the best first basemen I've seen. And played with flair.
Now, why wasn't, I remember the big criticism is he wasn't picked for the All-Star team enough as you look at Tony Armas. And he hits a bounce to the third base. Campaneris up to throw to first. In time. Nice play by Bert Campaneris. He's doing it all this afternoon for the Yanks and for the Red Sox. Here in the top of the fourth. 3 up, 3 down. After 3.5 innings to play, no score. Red Sox and the Yanks.
That's how the world championship is won, folks.
Watching him got me started.
Number 2 comes the newcomer, Roberto Diaz.
Now, he's watching me.
Bring out your best. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it.
That's right, cowboy.
Never had me do that.
Remember me? I thought I had security in my job. From now on, I want it in writing, not on tape. For a good night's rest, I went to Hillside Betting. This Hillside Betting security blanket guarantees in writing the lowest possible price. Plus, Hillside will replace any purchase within 30 days if you're not completely satisfied. Let's make one thing perfectly clear. Go to Hillside Betting and don't get kicked around by high prices anymore.
Hillside Betting, security blanket, the lowest price guaranteed in writing.
Prue Primwhistle here for NBO with hundreds of naked men lined up. Don't tilt down. For NBO's 25% off sale, 25% off. Oh, they've taken it all off. You're naked, sir. Why? Probably because you can get everything from the skin out right here at NBO.
Underwear.
Sportswear, shirts, ties, designer suits, birthday suits. NBO has it all.
NBO has it all for 25% off, except shoes.
On the scoreboard, the White Sox leading Minnesota 2-0 after 4. Detroit 4, Baltimore 1. That's after 3 in Detroit. And the other games will start later on in the American League. Pittsburgh beat St. Louis 7-2. That's the final, the first of two. It's Montreal 6, the Cubs 2 at the end of 6, and Montreal. Well, we'll give you the others later on.
Dave Winfield, the batter. He walked his first time up. No balls, 1 strike on Winfield. How would you get out of a slump, Bill White?
Bunting and hitting the ball to right field.
And this guy can run. I think if he would bunt for base hit, of course it's easy up here to say that, but if he had bunt for base hit, probably would relax him. And your best hitters get tight when they're in a slump.
I think in Dave's case, it would be, when he first came here a couple of years ago, he got a lot of base hits to right field, and each year he has kept moving the ball around, and where right now he's hitting everything to left field. If he would just go back the way he hit before.
And he hits a high fly ball to right center field. Armas calling for it. Makes the play. 1 down. You know, Bill White, Armas in center field, I was kind of surprised because I figured they would shift Evans to center field and put Armas in right field because Armas played right field in Oakland, and I was always under the impression Evans was the best outfielder, outside of maybe Rick Miller the Red Sox have.
I think Evans, I don't think he has the kind of speed to play center field. He's got the arm, obviously. But Armas, I believe, he was hitting at Oakland when they had Henderson and Murphy. But he's not a bad outlet. He gets a good jump on it. He doesn't run that well either, but he gets a good jump on the ball, and he's got a good arm.
Yes, he also has a good arm. As you look at Lou Piniella, Piniella lined into a double play his first time up. So he's 0 for 1, and Piniella takes ball 1 from John Tudor. You played in a few days like this in St. Louis?
Every day was like this in St. Louis, even nights.
I know Kansas City, I can remember playing on an AstroTurf on a Sunday afternoon, and we would go into the runway, and they had ice water on the ground. Nobody drank it. Everybody stood in it. Spikes and all, right into the ice water. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 man out here, bottom of the 4th inning, no score, Red Sox and the Yanks. I think right now John Tudor would be getting a little anxious. Lou Piniella making him wait. I think a pitcher would like to get that ball and throw it on a day like today. And the 1-1 pitch outside. 2-1. Tell you, I'd much rather play in a day like today than early April in Montreal.
Yep, cold weather is tough. It's hard to hit. Most injuries occur, I think. Most pitchers hurt their arms early in the year.
Piniella fouls the ball out of play. 2-2. You know, talking about that, you got to wonder if a team like Toronto or Montreal wouldn't go after, as you look at that swing again, wouldn't go after younger players, because the older player would tend to really pull some muscles in cold weather, and he's faced with cold weather 2 out of the 6 months.
Well, the Blue Jays do have a lot of young people.
And Cliff.
And Cliff Johnson.
And he's hitting well. Foul out of play. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. I wonder how much Danny Ainge was motivated to play basketball because of the cold weather for baseball in Toronto.
Curveballs motivated Danny Ainge to basketball.
You think so,
The inability to hit him.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Piniella. Popped up and back into the seats. Danny Ainge had a pretty good year for the Celtics, which can also be seen on Sports Channel New England. Larry Bird. Two balls, 2 strikes on Lou Piniella. 1 man down here in the bottom of the 4th. No score. Red Sox and the Yanks.
Ooh, that got Steve Palermo right on the mask, the home plate umpire.
After a while, you get hit so much in the mask when you're back there. You kind of get used to it. You kind of look forward to it. That ball hit the glove first?
Nope, don't think so. It looks like it got him flat on the mask.
I'll tell you, does he have a chest protector on under that shirt? Because if he doesn't, he's crazy.
Well, some umpire, he has one on. But I was told that it got so hot that an umpire they have taken off their chest protector. Of course, when they do that, they really have to hide behind the catcher. I think he's got something on in there. He's punchy now.
He certainly is. As we look at Jeff Newman flashing signs, that's unusual. Newman continued to flash the signs when Lou stepped out. I'd be worried about Lou looking back, taking those signs. A lot of hitters like to do that, look back at the catcher. And Piniella hits a long fly ball left field. Jim Rice with room. Makes the play, 2 down.
And let's watch it again. The ball is up and in for Piniella. He likes that ball in for his long ball. But Rice right back to the edge of the warning track.
And Don Baylor's the batter. Baylor flied to left field his first time up. He's 0 for 1. So you figure that the heat would take its toll on the pitchers, but so far they've been in control. Yankees with 2 hits off Tudor, and Righetti has held the Red Sox hitless through 3. Check that, through 4. No balls, 1 strike on Baylor. 1-1. Talking about looking back at catches, there was more cheating, I think, when you played than when I played.
Well, we call it gamemanship.
Yeah, honest cheating.
Hey, get down at second base and you try to steal the signs from the catcher. You look under your back arm trying to see what he's calling, location.
One of the best I've seen stealing pitches was Willie Mays. He could steal them from second base and first base. Popped out of play. The only thing about Willie is I felt that sometimes he didn't have them, but wouldn't say he didn't have them. He'd say he's got them. That everybody could be in trouble, especially the hitter. Another guy that comes to mind, Wes Westrom. He was excellent at stealing pitches. And the 1-2 pitch to Baylor. Fly ball left center field. Armas over, makes the play for out number 3. So here in the 4th, 3 up, 3 down. And after 4 complete innings of play, there's no score. The Red Sox and the Yanks.
For everybody who's been making do, I'm doing without. The Bank of New York introduces the Goodbye Loan.
Goodbye, old clunker.
Besides auto loans,
Goodbye, Dockside Blues.
we've got boat loans to help you sail away from it all. And home improvement loans, all at some of the lowest rates around.
Goodbye, old paint.
So say goodbye to just getting by with a Goodbye Loan, only from the Bank of New York.
Next week, the excitement's on Sports Channel when National League Baseball comes your way. Sports Channel brings you live action as the New York Mets take on the Cincinnati Reds and the Houston Astros. In the American League, the Bronx Bombers battle the Texas Rangers live from Yankee Stadium. Host Fran Healy talks with Baltimore Orioles star Jim Palmer in Cruising to the Hall of Fame. Sports Channel brings you exciting action-packed Supercross racing from the Astrodome in Houston. And if that's not enough, join us for thoroughbred action and inside racing, all next week on Sports Channel.
Well, I talked to Wade Boggs before the ball game, asked him if he felt a lot of pressure replacing Carney Lansford.
I don't think there was any pressure at all. I think the big pressure was last year when Carney went down with the ankle injury, and I had to replace him, and all of the eyes of the media world and everything else were upon me. And this year I just took it as a relaxed sort of atmosphere and just knew that I had the job at third and just went out and did my job.
And he did his job very well, Bill White.
Yeah, he hit 349 last year. And he's hitting around 360 this year and leads the major leagues in total number of base hits. The man can hit. There's no question about it.
And, you know, usually when a guy gets into Boston, he allows the wall to affect him, but he uses the wall as a left-handed hitter, and also he can pull the ball if he has to, but he's not afraid to go to left field and go up off that wall. Here's another guy that uses the wall well in Boston, Dwight Evans. He struck out his first time up. He's come on as a hitter. He's in his 10th year in the major leagues. When he first came up, he had trouble with the breaking ball. I think when you first come to the big leagues, they'll try to find out if you have trouble with the breaking ball. If you do, you will get a steady diet. You will either become a good breaking ball hitter or you won't be in the big leagues. He takes inside, ball one. And you know, if a catcher can't hit the breaking ball, he'll call it. Believe me.
He thinks other people can't hit it, huh?
That's right. Fouls the ball back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, catchers love to call the breaking ball.
Unless get Maury Wills or Ricky Henderson on first base.
Oh, yeah, didn't give me the fastball. And the pitch out. That's an interesting situation. 1-1 pitch, up high, 2-1. Pitchers study the catcher to find out if he's taking advantage of him. For example, a pitcher would like to throw a breaking ball at the man on first base, but the catcher, on the other hand, wants to throw the guy out, but he wants to show the pitcher he's working with him. So he'll call the breaking ball, reluctantly. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Dwight Evans. Righetti struck out 7 so far, and Evans fouls the ball back out of play. Count stays 2-2. Mentioned that Righetti is now 4th in the league since his last strikeout. He's behind Steve Blythe and Jack Morris. No reason in the world why this kid shouldn't win 20 ball games. Three and two. Fans in New York really getting psyched up for strikeouts ever since Ron Guidry's 1978 campaign. He had some pretty good strikeout pitchers in the past, though. Ryan Duran, Bullet Bob Turley. Swung on and missed, and that's number 8.
And here it is, just a flat-out fastball. We understand, Fran, that he's already equal to his season-high strikeouts. We're just in the 5th inning. He has chalked up 8.
And right now, he'll face Reed Nichols. Nichols 0 for 1. He flied to right field his first time up. Takes ball 1 from Dave Righetti. Mentioned Mel Allen before. This kid stole 66 bases in the minor leagues in 1 year. And has kind of gone on sabbatical since. Has not been running as he hits a long foul ball.
Well, Nichols really hasn't had that much of an opportunity to play. I think the Red Sox, having Yastrzemski is good and bad because it stops you from developing a young player, but you're tempted to use Yaz because of what he still can do with the bat. But when you use him, you stop the development of a younger player in your system.
2-1. Let me ask you, Bill, when do you think management starts to look at a player and say, I'd like to see him retire or we should trade him? What age?
Well, I don't know today because players are playing a lot longer, but I would think around 33, 34 years old, you should start looking for somebody to get out of there, really.
There's a fly ball down the right field line, curving foul. 2-2. Of course, you have to keep a number of things in mind. I think one is sometimes a player is the most popular player.
That's what you're talking about today. That you have players like a Yastrzemski, maybe like a Reggie Jackson, that are in their late 30s that you might keep around. But I always believed in Ricky's theory. Get rid of them. Bring youngsters in.
Foul ball.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ricky didn't seem to care. I mean,
no.
He wanted a good ball club.
I think you're paid well to play, that you give him 100%. When it's all over, you're even. I don't think a club owes an allegiance to any one player as long as he's well paid, and I don't think the player owes any kind of allegiance to a club. You see a lot of guys get out of baseball and they come back and ask for a job, says, you owe me. Well, they don't owe you anything. You've been paid to play.
Right. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Up high, ball 3. Yeah, it's interesting to watch a ball club that would be reluctant to make a move with an older player because of the fans. The fans go out to see him. And a 3-2 pitch to Nichols. Inside, ball 4. The second man, Righetti's walked in today's ball game.
Conversely, Fran, a lot of people in baseball like to tell the player what they owe to baseball, and that, in my opinion, is a fallacy also. Because I think if you go out and you give you 100% and play it as long as you can, and you're paid to what you think you should be paid, you're all even.
Right.
You might owe something to some kids or little leagues or whatever to keep a steady flow of good players to baseball, but the game has become quite commercial.
And the one thing you owe to the fans is they're going to pay top dollar to go to a ball game that you give it 100%.
Yep.
And a pitch out right there, Dave Stapleton, the batter. He struck out his first time up. As you look at Reed Nichols now, we mentioned he can run. Let's see. 2 veteran managers in this game, Ralph Houck and Billy Martin. When you're a veteran manager and you're successful, you don't have to stay with the book. 1-1. When do you reach that time in your managerial career? I guess it's after a certain amount of success where you don't have to stay with the book any longer. And it's tough to second-guess a veteran manager.
Well, really, it's tough to second-guess a manager anyway, for the most part, because most of them stay by the book.
Up high, 2-1. Guy like Earl Weaver, when he was managing, I think early in his career, he had to be more pragmatic than later on. He could deviate from the normal course of events, go throw the book away and do what he wanted, and management, I think, and the fans would be reluctant to second-guess him.
Well, the one thing Weaver never did, he didn't like, I think as he got into his years, he didn't like to sacrifice. He didn't like to sacrifice money. Just when you played an Earl Weaver Baltimore club, you almost, unless it was the 9th inning and the winning run was at first, you could forget about the sacrifice. So they developed, I think, their own books.
That's right. Another throw first. They got it picked off. Throw to second. In time. So Dave Righetti really picked off Reed Nichols. It's ruled caught stealing, Bill White.
That made his move a little bit too quickly. And Manley gets the ball down low to Smalley. All he's got to do is drop it. And Nichols is out. That's a 1-3-6 put out. Nichols on the move just a little bit too quickly, anticipating that the left-hander Righetti would go home. Good move by Righetti.
And really a good decision on Nichols' part. Once the pitcher goes to first, keep going. Don't try to go back. They're going to make a perfect throw, and the Yankees did. 2-1 pitch is pulled foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now, here's a guy that looked like a real good hitter when he got to the big leagues, the Red Sox, and he's done the job, and now this year he finds himself in a slump and benched for a while. Dave Stapleton. Two pitch. 3-2. You know, talk about Weaver with that sacrifice bunt. I'd love to know if when he first broke in as a manager under a lot of pressure, replacing Hank Bauer, if when the play called for it, he did use the sacrifice.
Yes, he did. He did early.
Is that right?
He went by the book.
Foul out of play. I think Billy Martin's another guy that could probably deviate from the book, although, as you look at that pitch again, they would second-guess Billy, I think.
Well, I think Billy does a lot more things away from the book than many of the other managers. Gene Mock used to do a lot of unorthodox things, but Billy, he'll squeeze in unorthodox situations. He'll double steal, which we've seen this year on unorthodox situations. He's a more aggressive manager than many of the other managers.
3-2 on Stapleton. Popped up. And everybody's calling for it. Andre Robertson under it and makes the play. 3 down. So for the Red Sox here in the 5th, no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base at the end of 4.5 innings of play here at the stadium. No score. Red Sox and the Yankees.
Getty, I take my cap off to you. You're selling regular gasoline at a great price. Getty, I take my cap off to you. Your Getty Gold motor oil helps protect my engine even when it's 105 in the shade.
People everywhere are taking their caps off to Getty. Because Getty's got the grades of gasoline for just about any car on the road today.
Getty, I take my cap off to you.
Take your cap off to Getty.
Get a new stereo, color TV, car stereo, CB, Sony Betamax, TV video game. Get it now during Crazy Eddie's 4th of July celebration. Crazy Eddie can't be beat with prices so low, he's practically giving it all away. Shop around, get the best prices, then go to Crazy Eddie, and Crazy Eddie will beat him. Remember, Crazy Eddie guarantees you the largest selection, professionally staffed service centers, and the guaranteed lowest prices. Crazy Eddie, his 4th of July sale prices are insane.
When your car's front wheels are out of line, handling's poor, and front tires wear out fast, time to turn it over to Goodyear for a front-end alignment. The Goodyear service store will align your front wheels for smooth handling and better performance for miles to come. So get a front-end alignment at Goodyear now. And we'll also safety check all 4 tires. Get a front-end alignment at Goodyear now at this low price. Come up to Goodyear.
Now, daring motorcyclists compete in championship indoor motocross racing as Sports Channel presents Supercross from the Houston Astrodome Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on Sports Channel. Check local listings for date and time in New England. Well, there's a fellow, Fran Healy, celebrating the nation's birthday. A little hot waving that flag down there, but he's happy.
A lot of people here for this finale between the Red Sox and the Yanks. Giving out a lot of prizes shortly. Phil Rizzuto will be down in the stands. He might give Scooter away. As we look at Butch Weiniger. He reached on an error his first time up, and he hits a high fly ball. And Remy calling for it, makes the play, 1 down. Talking about the pitchers getting sluggish. It looks like the pitchers are strong. The hitters might be getting sluggish.
Well, they haven't thrown that many pitches. Both Tudor and Righetti, they've both been around the plate, and I think that's important in weather like this.
Oh, Steve Kemp's the batter. Kemp, 0 for 1, grounded to first base his first time up. No score here in the bottom of the 5th, the Red Sox and the Yanks. Fastball inside, and Kemp swings and misses. No balls, 1 strike.
Yankees have had trouble with left-handers all year. They won 14, lost 23 against left-handers, and 26 and 12 against right-handers.
1-1. I can remember when Kansas City used to come in here, we would pitch a left-hander. If it was the trainer, we would pitch him against the Yankees. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of course, it's only natural when you come into Yankee Stadium with that short porch.
Well, the Yankees have always had a left-handed hitter or 2 that could hit that ball into that right field section.
I can remember one night Bobby Mercer hit 3 against us here in New York. He must have been broadcasting that game. It was the old stadium. 3 home runs in 1 game. I think 2 or 3 of them were off of Gene Garber, who's now with the Atlanta Braves. The 2-2 pitch. A shot to first, and it's off Stapleton's glove. It's a foot race, and Kemp's on with a base hit.
And Steve stays with this pitch from Tudor. Ball could have been played by the first baseman, Dave Stapleton. Short hop off the heel of the glove, and then it bounces over toward the tarpaulin, and he's got his momentum going toward that tarpaulin. He can't stop and make the play the first. Watch him. He'll just keep going in there.
And Roy Smalley. It's a high fly ball. Newman in pursuit, and it's out of reach. 1 strike. I played a Stapleton to Bill White. I'm assuming I never played first base with that particular ball going down, and the most relaxed hands you can possibly get would be your best thing.
Yeah.
As far as catching that ball.
Well, Chuck Mangione is evidently watching the game. He's from Rochester, and his father 73 years old a couple of days ago, and they're all Yankee fans up there in Rochester.
And Tudor goes to first base. Kemp back. Kemp would be a surprise, I think, if he tried to steal.
Yeah.
I think he'd be surprised if he got the sign. Although, as we mentioned earlier, Billy Martin has thrown the book away. There's Don Zimmer over at third base.
Well, if they had the first baseman behind Kemp, every once in a while Martin will let his slower runners try to steal, Pinella in particular.
No balls, 2 strikes in Smalley. We just saw Billy Martin's putting down his hands like to stay there. But Billy's the type of manager that'll do that and give the sign to steal. Billy will enter a hospital tomorrow. Hope everything's all right with Billy Martin. He said he will rejoin the club in Kansas City. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Smalley, and slap base hit into right field. Kemp holds on at second base as Dwight Evans gets the ball back in, and the Yankees have runners on first and second with 1 out.
Roy Smalley's been taking the pitch to the right side. He does it here again. Remy can't play it. Part of the reason Remy shortened up just a bit towards second for the possible double play. Cut down his range, moving to his left.
Say, he hit a good, nasty pitcher's pitch and picked up a base hit. The batter now is Andre Robertson, who lined to left field his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Fouls the ball out of play. No balls, 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 man down. Runners on first and second. No score, Red Sox and the Yankees, and time has been called by second base umpire Jerry Neudecker. No pitch. For some reason.
Well, Andre would like that. Gets to start all over again.
And he gets loose. But you could take a drink of water today and get loose. And another foul ball. So Andre Robertson with the break now with a count of no balls and 1 strike. The midway point in baseball after today's game. The All-Stars will head to the game in Chicago. And the guys who are not All-Stars will have time to rest and regroup. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. How many All-Star games you playing?
7, but that was during some of those were played 2 a year.
I remember those. Did you look forward to playing in them?
Yes, first time.
The first time. After that, you wanted to go fishing.
No, it's a duty to play.
There's a ground ball, base hit into left field. Kemp will score. And the Yankees have a 1-0 lead.
Well, we were talking earlier, Fran Healy, about Andre Robertson, and he is no longer an out man. I think when he first came up with the Yankees, he was an out man, but he dropped his hands a little bit lower, worked with Pinella, clean base hit past Boggs at third base. I always felt that if a kid could play shortstop the way he played shortstop, with that kind of coordination, he had to be able to hit the ball.
Same with Belanger. Now, that was a mystery.
Yeah.
He should have been a good hitter. Right now, the Yankees have runners on first and second, and the batter, Bert Campaneris. 1 out. Ball 1.
I think with Belanger, they didn't have the concentrated type of instruction that they're getting at this level now. Then, if you didn't know how to hit by the time you got to the big leagues, it was hard to learn. But now they're even teaching at the big league level.
1-0 pitch inside 2-0. You know, Bill, I also felt that, for example, Belanger came up and they convinced him, you can't hit, psychologically. They tried to do the same thing with Andre Robertson, but he wouldn't believe it.
Well, they probably told Belanger, look, son, all you got to do is catch it. If you can catch it, you can play. Forget about the hitting.
3-0.
But Andre also has some power, which we haven't seen.
And that psychological thing where they convince you, can't hit. You're always looking over your shoulder for a pinch hitter, so you didn't have to worry about that.
No.
Well, I'll tell you, you walk up to the plate looking for a pinch hitter, you're not concentrating. But Belanger should have been a real good hitter. 3-0 on Campaneris. 3-1.
You know, Houck's getting Bob Stanley up again.
Yep.
Stanley, by the time the season's over, he would have pitched more innings than some of Houck's starters.
And the 3-1 pitch. Strike 2. Campy, I'm sure, not happy with home plate umpire Steve Palermo. Umpires don't like you to run away from home plate either. They don't like to be shown up. There's Bob Stanley. I believe he was born and brought up in the Garden State. So, full count on Bert Campaneris. 1-0 Yankees on top of the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 5th. Outside, ball 4. They're loaded up.
This is a case of some unorthodox strategy, some possible unorthodox strategy. Now, normally you wouldn't squeeze with the left-handed batter up and the base is loaded. But Billy Martin will try that at times.
Well, you just saw the bases loaded. Mattingly, who can handle the batter. Ball 1. Of course, these two teams, and as you look at Roy Smalley on third base, Andre Robertson at second base, Bert Campaneris over at first, and the batter Don Mattingly. These two teams in the thick of a pennant race. They'd like to leave on a positive note for the All-Star break. Foul out of play, 1-1. You know, talk about Billy throwing the book away. When he was in Oakland, he brought back a thing that became obsolete, stealing home.
Of course, he had good speed there with Henderson and Murphy.
I can remember against the Yankees one day, he had Mickey Klutz try it. A 1-1 pitch. Nice pitch right there. 1-2. I think Mattingly would like that ball back again. Speaking of Mattingly, a first baseman for the Yankees, a kid in AAA hit another home run yesterday. Steve Balboni. What's he got, 22?
22 big taters.
And the 1-2 pitch. Swung at and missed. Strike 3. Tough pitch right there to hold up on it. Slider breaking off the plate.
And well out of the strike zone.
Well, a hand is encouragement for Big Dave Winfield. Dave 0 for 1. He's also walked. Two men out here in the bottom of the 5th. Been a pitcher's duel so far. And the Yankees right now, with the bases loaded, 1-0 Yanks on top of the Sox. Winfield takes ball 1. Always a lot of excitement when these two teams square off. This is the finale of a 4-game series. One and one. It's a tough pitch when you're right-handed. Facing that left-hander, he has that natural tail on the ball, and it starts inside. You kind of give up on it, and the ball comes back and just nips the inside part of the plate.
Especially when you've got that big hitch, too. You've got everything, all your timing has got to be perfect. Dave has a big hitch in his swing.
Now, that ball didn't come back.
Dave's getting caught pumping that bat. See, it's hard to pump that bat down and get it back up on those high fastballs. It's almost impossible to do with someone who can get that ball in there around 90, 91, 92 miles an hour.
And of course, when you're in a slump, it seems that they always make that good pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded. Popped up. Newman in pursuit. Ball's back in the stands, out of play. So, the scene here at the stadium. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Dave Winfield, 2 outs. Yankees 1, Red Sox nothing. Yankees 1 hit, check that 1 run on 5 hits. Red Sox, no runs and no hits. Dave Righetti in command so far. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And a big strikeout for John Tudor as he gets Dave Winfield with the bases loaded. But the Yanks here in the 5th pick up 1 run. And after 5 complete innings of play to score, Yanks 1, Red Sox nothing.
This 4th of July weekend, come picnic at Belmont. If you get the food, we'll supply everything else. The cooler, the cushion, and a place in the sun. All complete in this combination picnic pack. This Saturday only, it's yours free, 1 with each paid admission. Saturday, July 2nd, Belmont Park. Be there.
Well, I talked to Wade Boggs before the ball game, asked him what made him a 300 hitter.
Patience and discipline, that's the big thing. I look for 1 pitch to hit, and if I don't get it, then I'm settled for the walk. And it's just going out and getting a good pitch to hit, and if the pitcher's not going to give you that pitch, then go ahead and take the walk.
Well, Wade Boggs talking about batting 300. He's done it throughout his career, 5 years in the minors, and ever since he came to the big leagues with the Red Sox. They're looking at Dave Righetti take his warm-up tosses through 5 innings of play here at the stadium. It's Yankees 1, Red Sox nothing. Righetti has struck out 8 Red Sox batters. He's been outstanding. He has not allowed a Red Sox base hit, and he's still throwing hard. And now, coming in with the play-by-play just as hard, the master, Mel Allen.
Thank you very much, Fran Healy. You know, earlier, friends, we happened to mention that Billy Martin is going in the hospital tonight. Got a few days off during the All-Star game break. However, to carry that a step further, he's going in for an examination that may result in rectal surgery, so nothing serious. Jeff Newman takes it high and away, ball 1. Foul ball. Newman struck out in the 3rd inning. Matter of fact, Billy expects to rejoin the Yankees on Thursday in Kansas City. Jeff Newman's a guy that got a little more power than folks think. There's a drive out into right field. Kemp goes back and in and makes the catch. He rocked one out into the left field seats in this series.
He had 22 when, in 1979 in Oakland when he was on the All-Star team. Talking about the All-Star team, the 83 All-Star game in Chicago. Big thrill for all the players, I've got to believe.
To be chosen by the fans and your peers, Glenn Hoffman takes it high for a ball. Through the years, they've changed it back and forth. Fans would do all the voting, and the players did it. Now it's back in the hands of the fans and has been, and that's where it should be. There's a high pop coming back out of play. Steve Palermo, the plate umpire, didn't know where the ball was. He was watching the catcher. Saw him coming back, he danced out of the way. I bet he's a good dancer, Fran.
You think so?
Yeah, the way he got out of the way.
Well, when that ball's hit up, a lot of times the catcher doesn't know where it is. He might move if the umpire moves.
Foul back to first, out of play in the upper deck.
And the good one is when you panic and you grab the umpire and fire him aside. He's real happy about that.
Yeah. I got to ask Palermo if he doesn't do the ballet. He did a nice pas de deux there. A 1-2 count on Glenn Hoffman. Just outside. 2-2 the count. Dave's thrown a lot of pitches. A lot of 2-2, 3-2 counts.
And a lot of real fast pitches.
There's a looper. It's going to drop maybe, or will Smalley get to it? Smalley got it. For a while, it looks as if that ball might go out a little bit too far for him.
Here's Roy Smalley making the play. I guess the shortstop that could range the furthest was the guy I saw, Mark Belanger. Heard Hank Bauer one day say that Scooter could get it way out there after a pop fly.
He could. Remember, once he went across foul line, caught a ball, I believe he was in Cleveland, and went skidding on his elbows. Got all skinned up. Jerry Remy. There's the strike.
There's Phil Rizzuto down in the stands.
That's where he likes to be. No microphone. He's talking to Chuck Mangione. Outside for a ball, 1-1. He's having a ball. 3 more and you're on. You think he's trying to persuade Chuck Mangione to, as Frank Messer to the left of Phil. Jerry Remy misses. Fastball high and in, and the count 1-2. Why is Phil, you trying to get Chuck Mangione to play a solo while Righetti's working on the hitter? 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jerry Remy up. Fouls it beyond third, out of play. Great Independence Day ball game. New York leading by a score of 1-0. 6th inning. Pitching duel. Old Glory is flying beautifully. Jerry Remy. It's a high pop. Who's going to get it? Third baseman. Bert Campaneris. And the Red Sox are down in order. And the score at the end of 5.5 innings, Yankees 1, the Red Sox nothing.
Orlando's got the green light. He'll go for the steal.
Maybe I can scare him. I really scared him.
Bring out your best Budweiser Light. Bring out your best Budweiser Light.
Oh, the best. You found it in yourself, and now you found it in the beer you drink.
Budweiser Light. Where has ever been? Where, oh, where will it take you?
The Honda Aero. It's easy to ride because it's completely automatic. It starts with the push of a button.
Aero gets you from here to there. Aero takes you almost anywhere. Honda, a Mineola. They give you the shirts off their back.
When you burn the candle at both ends, there's a vitamin just for you. Advanced formula stress tabs with biotin. A vitamin not found in other stress formulas. A vitamin essential to help convert food to energy. When you burn the candle at both ends, support your diet with advanced formula stress tabs with biotin, the official stress formula vitamin of the 1984 Winter Olympics.
July 4th picnic day at Yankee Stadium. And as part of our little party, we're giving away lots of gifts. And by the way, today's player will receive a gift certificate worth $150 at Morano's Jewelers, featuring a complete line of fine jewelry at discount prices. Morano's, 745 Fifth Avenue, between 57th and 58th Streets. Frank Messer and Phil Rizzuto are down on field and announcing the prize winners today. Meanwhile, we come back to the ball game.
Steve Palermo right there,
Dusting off home plate. I heard an echo. I don't know where it came from, but I heard an echo. Remember that song, Sir Little Echo?
No.
You remember Jim Hunter, don't you? Lou Piniella. Pitch a little outside, ball one. Steve Palermo slaps his hands together. What a great day for a ball game.
It really is.
It's like Ernie Banks. Ernie Banks say, what a great day. Let's play two.
Great day for two.
1 ball, no strikes. There's a high drive to deep center. Going back is Armas. Still going back, and he gloves it. A home run in any other ballpark, just about. Except Detroit, straight away.
Well, I think the pitcher decides early in his career when he sees Yankee Stadium, I'll let him drive the ball as far as he wants from left center to center field. And here's Lou Piniella hitting a ball about 416 feet to straightaway center field. And Tony Armas drifting back with a lot of room, makes the play at the wall.
Don Baylor, fly to left and fly to center, takes it low for a ball. There have been 5 hits in this ball game for any of those who may have tuned in late. The Yankees have had them all, leaving one conclusion. Don Baylor fouls it off to the right of the plate, out of play.
You're not superstitious.
It's something I learned from fellas like you who played baseball. And that's a dugout tradition, not a superstition. Well, it's a there's the drive. It stays there. It is going. It is going. It is gone. Just cracked his 9th home run of the season, Fran.
Here it is again. Don Baylor with that quick bat. Oh, he's right on that ball. Big, strong Don Baylor. As you watch that ball go way up and way out of Yankee Stadium, that's number 222 in Don Baylor's career. He's been a good hitter throughout his career.
Butch Weiniger is the batter. Well, as long as the deuces are wild, that makes the score 2-0. We're in the last of the 6th. 2-1 the count on Weiniger, who hit a shot through the legs of Wade Boggs back in the 2nd inning, 2-base error. Popped out to second in the 5th. Up high, ball 1. Yankees won the first game of this series, and then the Red Sox turned around and shellacked them the last 2. There's another one deep to left, and is that one going to be caught? Or yes, he got it right at the wall. Jim Rice looked for a fraction like he was not going to get it, but he leaped and got it.
Here it is again. Butch Weiniger, who's been red hot with the bat, scorches this ball, and Rice gets back to the wall and takes at least an extra base hit away from Weiniger, possibly a home run.
That ball was above the barrier.
You think so?
Yeah.
I thought it was
look again. See where...
I might disagree with you.
Okay. On a hot day like this, a man of your stature, I don't mind. Steve Kemp hits one to first. Stapleton up with it, flips to Tudor covering. And that retires the side. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors, no one left on at the end of 6 innings of play. The Yankees 2, the Red Sox nothing.
Want to win $50,000? Just guess the number of Rawlings baseballs we'll use to fill the Toyota Yankee bullpen car.
Write the number on an entry blank from any participating Toyota dealer. One entry per person.
Best guess wins $50,000.
And the Toyota Yankee bullpen car.
The $50,000 Toyota Yankee Baseball Grand Slam.
At your Tri-State Toyota dealers.
1,000.
65.
1,000.
66.
1,000.
68.
1,000.
Oh, missed one. 69.
Next week, the excitement's on Sports Channel when National League Baseball comes your way. Sports Channel brings you live action as the New York Mets take on the Cincinnati Reds and the Houston Astros. In the American League, the Bronx Bombers battle the Texas Rangers live from Yankee Stadium. Host Fran Healy talks with Baltimore Orioles star Jim Palmer in Cruising to the Hall of Fame. Sports Channel brings you exciting action-packed Supercross racing from the Astrodome in Houston. And if that's not enough, join us for thoroughbred action and inside racing. All next week on Sports Channel.
Well, it's beautiful baseball weather today, and if you're a catcher, you might disagree. I asked Butch Weiniger about the weather. How do you maintain your strength catching on a day like today?
On a day like today, it's not a matter of keeping your strength, but you go out there and it's so hot. I mean, take yesterday's ball game. By the 6th inning, I had a headache. And I had to go take some aspirin, and by the 8th inning, I was just out there playing catch with the pitcher. It was nothing I could really do. I could go back in the clubhouse where it's nice and air-conditioned, but when I come out for the inning again, then it's you have to get readjusted to the weather, and I just can't do that.
It was 95.
Well, Butch Weiniger doing a fine job for the Yankees, and Mel Allen, he's been hot with the bat lately.
Did you interview me? I thought you were leading into me.
No, I just interviewed you.
Oh! I forgot what I'd said. See you, Fran. Here's Wade Boggs as we go to the 7th inning. It's a ball inside. He took a 3rd strike in the 1st, fly to center in the 4th. New York leading 2-0. Curveball over for a strike. 1-1 the count. Dave Righetti. Giving up 2 walks. Up high and gets all the way back to the screen. Skipped off the glove of Weiniger. Actually, Butch might have caught it if he had to. There's nobody on base, but the ball, I know, as we look at it again, that ball really took off.
Sometimes a power pitcher will throw that ball so hard when it takes off, it'll take off right by the catcher, no matter how good your hands are.
2-1 the count on Wade Boggs. It tipped his bat, strike 2. Steve Palermo quickly indicated by slapping palms together that the ball ticked the bat. Otherwise, it's been 3-1. Ball is inside. 2-2 the count. And Wade Boggs ducks another one, but manages to foul it off. Count remains 2-2. As we go to the 7th inning, with the Yankees leading 2-0, the Red Sox are trying to get on the board in many respects. There's a drive to right center, and going back, Winfield makes the catch. So that the only 2 men the Red Sox have had to reach base have been on walks. Rice in the 1st inning. Nichols in the 5th inning. Fran, when you were talking about this bit of superstition, when you say that there have been 5 hits, 6 hits in the game, the Yankees have had them all. There's only one conclusion. The other side has not had any. And the expression that you do not use stems from an ancient baseball dugout tradition. Jim Rice walked in the 1st and flied to right. A lot of people have thought, through the years, have begun to think that there's something that was initiated in broadcast booths, but it isn't. As you know, you've caught no-hitters, right?
Yes.
And that's outside.
No, you never talked about it.
You didn't talk about it. So it's just that those 3 words, he's pitching a, it's just out of respect to the guys in the dugout. They do it, so you do it. But you don't keep from reporting it.
That's right.
Inside.
At Shea...
Three balls, no strikes on
Shea
Jim Rice.
Stadium a few years ago, Doc Medich, as you look at the scoreboard, it tells a story. Dave Righetti.
Under the letter H. Sounds like an OTB deal.
That's right. Well, I mentioned at Shea Stadium a few years ago, Doc Medich had a no-hitter going in the 9th inning. I came to bat the late Thurman Munson said, he's going to throw a no-hitter. And my first thought was, uh-oh, he jinxed him. He didn't throw a no-hitter.
Had the green light there.
Oh, the guy can hit like Jim Rice. You give him the green light anytime.
Boy, what a picture of power he is. 3 balls, 1 strike on Jim Rice. He walks. 3rd man to reach base for the Red Sox, all on walks. But nonetheless, it brings to the plate an expression that may have originated in press boxes. I mean, in the broadcasting booths, certainly in press boxes, the potential tying run to the plate. Tony Armas, who struck out in the 1st inning and grounded to 3rd in the 4th.
Right now, the hitter should be as comfortable as he'll get against the starting pitcher. He's seen him a couple times as Armas fouls the ball off. They're past the sniffing stage, and they're very comfortable at the plate.
They're zeroing in, and the pitcher in this 90-degree plus heat, it was 94, it's about 91 now, the last official report we've had to work hard over 6 in the 3rd innings, and maybe he's begun to lose just a little bit of velocity. And then it didn't look like it there, did it?
No, on the other hand, Mel, with he's very aware of his no-hitter, he might have an extra incentive as he rears back with this fastball.
No balls and 2 strikes. Dave Righetti now is the center of attraction. Rice on first, 2 strikes on Armas. A foul ball out of play to the right of the plate into the upper deck.
Of course, another incentive to Dave Righetti as he gets this win today. He'll relax during the All-Star break with a 10-3 record and a great shot at 20 wins at a very tender age. He's got great stuff.
Rice on first with 1 down in the 7th inning. And Armas hits a slow roller foul over toward the Red Sox dugout.
If Righetti stays healthy, he should have a long, successful career. And if you have a long, successful career in New York, you get a chance of being celebrated in verse. Whereas if you have a long and successful year, say in the Midwest, I don't think they have too many writers out there, do they? Poets.
Well, I can't take time out here to really discuss that in detail.
Good, don't.
Some of the finest writers, like Mark Twain. Here's Tony Armas, and the 2-strike pitch is high. Ball 1, 1-2.
I was being facetious.
Oh, I know that. So was Hemingway. One and 2 the count. Rice leading away. Armas takes it high and away. Beginning to look as if Righetti is forcing the ball a little bit.
Well, we've talked about the weather, although I should say 7.
Well, that's from the standpoint of velocity. I was thinking in terms of location.
You know, I think most of your power pitchers, though, Mel, they would like location, but that's secondary to them. They want to make sure that they get the fastball up there as quickly as possible.
Yankees 2, Red Sox nothing, 1 out. And Armas hits a shot to short. Smalley over to Robertson for 1. Double play! No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. At the end of 6.5 innings, the score remains the Yankees 2, the Red Sox nothing.
everybody who's been making do, I'm doing without. The Bank of New York introduces the Goodbye Loan.
Goodbye, old clunker.
Besides auto loans,
Goodbye, Dockside Blues.
we've got boat loans to help you sail away from it all. And home improvement loans, all at some of the lowest rates around.
Goodbye, old paint.
So say goodbye to just getting by with a Goodbye Loan, only from the Bank of New York.
Remember me? I thought I had security in my job. From now on, I want it in writing, not on tape. For a good night's rest, I went to Hillside Betting. This Hillside Betting security blanket guarantees in writing the lowest possible price. Plus, Hillside will replace any purchase within 30 days if you're not completely satisfied. Let's make one thing perfectly clear. Go to Hillside Betting and don't get kicked around by high prices anymore.
Buy any Sealy mattress and get the matching box spring at half the mattress price. Available at participating dealers.
Yeah, I built my business up from a single ladder and a brush. Today, I put my money in the book, Yellow Pages. Now I got 10 guys working for me. We do outstanding work. So, I wanted my Yellow Pages ad to stand out too, and that's why I run my ad in red. Last year I did, this much business, but this year, with a new red ad, I've already done this much business. So run your ad in red. It helped my business reach new heights. Woo!
Exciting soccer action will come your way, fans, on Sports Channel this Friday night at 8 o'clock when Toronto takes on Team America. Remember, that's on Sports Channel. Yankees leading 2-0. We're coming into the last half of the 7th inning. And just for you baseball trivia fans, the last Yankee to pitch a no-hitter who was a left-handed pitcher was George Mogridge, who did it against Boston, at Boston, April 24th, 1917. The rest of them were right-hand pitchers. Roy Smalley leading off for New York, last of the 7th. Lifts a high fly ball in the short left. Jim Rice coming on, and he's going to get to it. Ball hung up there long enough.
I remember the year they used Jim Rice primarily as a designated hitter. He was not happy. Thought he was a good outfielder. Been doing a nice job for the Red Sox here in '83 defensively, and of course, offensively, he's always done a good job.
Awesome. Well, of course, that's when they had Freddie Lynn before they he became a free agent and signed with the Angels. And at his departure, he played center, and the others were able to play left and right, Evans and right. Here's Andre Robertson. Got a key hit in the 5th inning and drove in the first Yankee run with a single to left. Lifts a high fly foul down the right field line, out of play. Who did play left? I'm just trying. Well, Yaz played some left and first.
Yaz could play that left field wall.
Oh, yeah. Foul ball to plate.
Yaz was one of the few outfielders that made the switch to first base and did an outstanding job as a first baseman. I remember Willie Mays making the switch, and he had a lot of trouble.
I'll tell you one that didn't have much trouble. Stan Musial, okay?
Right. Early, of course, that was early. I'm talking about later on in his career.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-0 New York, last half of the 7th. We've been talking so much about Righetti, we have been not deliberately overlooking. That pitch is going inside. But, you know, John Tudor has pitched an excellent game.
Yes, he has.
He had one so-called bad inning in the 5th. There's a drive out of the right field. Dwight Evans over after it and hands it easily.
Think what happens when you're a power pitcher and you're going against a guy that's kind of a control pitcher, and you're both on your game. The guy that should fare a lot better will be the power pitcher. He'd be more difficult to hit.
The thing about Tudor in that 5th inning, he could have been blown out of the game. 3 straight hits. Singles by Kemp, Smalley, and Robertson got 1 run in. A walk to Campaneris, loaded the bases. Campy's up now and takes the ball. But he settled down. He struck out Mattingly, and Winfield got out of the jam. Stayed in the ball game. Foul ball, back to first, out of play.
We were talking about no-hitters. I would say that a power pitcher over the years was involved in many more no-hitters than, say, a finesse pitcher.
Right.
Because he can make that mistake up high when he's behind the hitter and still get an out.
Up high for a ball.
Where the finesse pitcher makes that mistake, and most of the time, the hitter capitalizes on the mistake.
I think back to 1951, I think it was 51. Allie Reynolds pitched 2 no-hitters. Not successfully, of course. Only one guy's ever done that. 3-1 the count.
And he was a power pitcher, Allie Reynolds.
Well, the man that pitched 2 successfully was Johnny Vandermeer with the Reds. And he could throw hard. Reynolds was a power pitcher.
Did Vandermeer do it under the lights?
Second one was. Full count on Campaneris. Hey, that Palermo is hopping around there as if he loves this hot weather. Payoff pitch is looped out into right, and coming on is Evans. And the side is retired in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 7 innings of play, the score remains the Yankees 2, the Red Sox nothing.
This buzz for everyone who knows they've got what it takes to get the job.
This buzz for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Hey, this bud's for you.
The way your car's been knocking, doesn't merging into fast traffic make you nervous?
No more knocks. Now we've got star power.
Texaco Star Power. Extra power when Texaco Super Unleaded helps knock out the knocks. Compare a car knocking with regular unleaded fuel to the same car with Star Power. Star Power can help give you more car power.
See, Marie? No sweat.
Oh, it's wonderful, but shouldn't we be heading north?
Star Power for car power.
Some of our guests receive a gift certificate worth $150 from Morano's of Fifth Avenue, featuring a complete line of fine jewelry at discount prices. Morano's, 745 Fifth Avenue between 57th and 58th Streets.
Well, I asked Butch Weiniger before the game to talk about his 1983 season, at least the first half.
Patience and discipline, that's the big thing. I look for one pitch to hit, and if I don't get it, then I'm settled for the walk. And it's just going out and getting a good pitch to hit, and if the pitcher's not going to give you that pitch, then go ahead and take the walk.
Wait. That was now Weiniger. Now we'll have Butch Weiniger. What about 83? I guess we're going to have Weiniger later.
Yeah, because he's ready to catch here
That's
now
right.
in the first half of the 8th inning.
Well, at least we heard from Boggs twice. Well,
Sure.
4 times. One was a repeat.
Occasionally, we all get a little bogged down, and I didn't want to hear it.
That's right. It's 2-0, by the way. We're in the top of the 8th inning here at the stadium. A lot of excitement because Dave Righetti, so far, through 7, has not allowed a Red Sox base hit.
Dwight Evans struck out in the 2nd inning, and again in the 5th inning. 8 strikeouts for Dave Righetti. In a ball game that's still very much up in the air.
That's right. That's the most important thing,
Right.
Mel Allen, the ball game.
Winning or losing.
But you know the players defensively are keyed up right now because they would like to be involved in a no-hitter.
Here's Dwight Evans. A high fly down the right field line, close to the line, and is it fair, foul? Is it caught or out? He caught it! Steve Kemp made the catch.
There it is, Steve Kemp. He's keyed up. Watch this play if we can see it. Extra effort for Dave Righetti by Steve Kemp.
And it's a foul ball, which we couldn't see at first.
Oh,
look at that. We couldn't see that in the corner. What great camera work. Great direction. And an opportunity for us to give it a kind of excitement in the call that we couldn't see because we were hidden from it. Look at this. Well, watch Kemp go up and over and foul ground, but up over the barrier. How about that? Great play. And Reed Nichols just took a strike. Dave Righetti, 4 outs away. 5 outs away if he can make it.
And you know, the players in the dugout usually won't even switch seats.
They even stop chewing their gum.
That's right.
The pitch is low and outside. Either that or they chew faster. Generally, they chew faster.
You know, the Red Sox, on the other hand, a club that does not have a hit, they don't want to be embarrassed. They want to win the game, but they also want that hit.
There's a drive to straightaway center. Winfield backing up, and he's got it. And so now there are 4 outs between Dave Righetti and what they have often referred to as the Pitcher's Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. They just use that expression. The writers initiated that one.
You know, I can remember in the no-hitters I was involved in, Mel Allen, that late in the game, Steve Busby changed his pattern. He went with the hard slider for the first 6, and then he started throwing more fastballs. Yet it seems like Dave Righetti is staying with his game plan.
Well, the last 2 balls have been hit deep and in the air. Dave Stapleton hits one up in the air.
Popped up.
Is it playable? Mattingly says, I think I can make the catch. He has. Hey, 3 outs to go. And the score at the end of 7.5 innings. As you see Kemp making that great play again. The Yankees 2, the Red Sox nothing.
Getty, I take my cap off to you. Your Unleaded Plus saves me money. It costs less than Unleaded Premium.
Getty, I take my cap off to you. You've made it a lot easier for me to pay for your gasoline.
People everywhere are taking their caps off to Getty. Because Getty's got the grades of gasoline for just about any car on the road today.
Getty, I take my cap off to you.
Take your cap off to Getty.
If America's roads are giving you more than your share of bumps, Monroe has the answer.
Buy one, get the second one half price on Monroe-Maddox and Radio-Maddox at Pro Auto Parts at 733 Main Street in New Rochelle and 132 Fisher Avenue in Eastchester.
Yes, from now on, America, with Monroe Shocks, the bump stops here.
If you're looking for food quality based on tradition, this is it. Angelo's at 146 Mulberry Street. The same ownership and location since 1892. The owners, Gino and Johnny, oversee the preparation of over 100 entrees like fettuccine carbonara. Now, if you don't see what you want on the vast menu, walk into the kitchen, tell one of the 7 chefs how you like it. Angelo's, 146 Mulberry Street. What Little Italy is to New York, Angelo's is to Little Italy.
Well, through 7.5 innings of play, 2-0 Yankees on top of the Red Sox. Don Mattingly will lead it off for the Yanks. He'll be followed by Dave Winfield and then Lou Piniella. A lot of excitement here at the stadium, and it's all centered around Dave Righetti, Mel Allen.
Dave Righetti in the 9th inning, scheduled to face, and I'm sure it'll be pinch hitters. But right now, Don Mattingly fouls the first pitch off in the last of the 8th. Jeff Newman, Glenn Hoffman, and then Jerry Remy. And I'm sure Ralph Houck will look around on the bench for pinch hitters. Don Mattingly, he lifts a looping pop to short. Glenn Hoffman grabs it. New York 2, Boston nothing. And here's Dave Winfield. Walked, fly to center, and struck out.
I tell you, the defense can hardly wait to get back on the field for the 9th. I'm sure their adrenaline is flowing specifically for Dave Righetti. There it is, right there.
Look under the letter H. There is the story at this moment. Besides which, the Yankees don't have that much of a lead that the Red Sox can't come back in the 9th. There's a strike. So we've got two things going. An exciting ball game from the standpoint of winning or losing, and an ultra-exciting ball game from the standpoint of, will Righetti do it or won't he? Winfield takes it inside for a ball. The last time a Yankee pitcher ever did it, it was of the perfect variety, was Don Larson in a World Series. But right now, last of the 8th, Dave Winfield lifts a foul upstairs, stung his hands.
Well, I tell you, he's got that bad thumb. He hurt the thumb down in Florida, and it's still bothering Dave Winfield. Although he was swinging the bat well, even with the bad thumb, early in the season. Right now, he's in a slump, and that's an isolated incident right there in this ball game where the thumb is sore.
And that's why he keeps losing the bat so often. One of the reasons contributory.
But that's not the reason for the slump, because as I mentioned, he has been swinging the bat well, or he did early in the season.
I mean, contributory to losing the bat.
Right.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul back. Dave is still in pain. You know, I'm starting to get a butterfly or two.
Oh, really? I tell you, when you're involved, when you're on the field defensively, you really have the adrenaline going, especially the catcher and the pitcher, because they've been working this game, and the catcher likes to take credit for a no-hitter, believe me.
He deserves it. There's a bouncer hit deep to short. Backhanded by Glenn Hoffman. The throw is not held. Safe. The official scorer has got a tough judgment call. Winfield hustles down the line. Here's the play again.
He's got a good arm, this kid, Hoffman.
But he throws him out on the grass.
Outstanding arm. He bounces the ball, and it's not held by Dave Stapleton.
Probably
scored a base hit. But I agree with you, Mel.
Yeah.
When you're in a slump, you want that hit right there, and it scored a base hit. But I think you would score an error, Mel.
I do, because the first baseman, if he'd have made the pickup, it was a good stride ahead of the runner hitting the bag.
But like I said, when you're in a slump, you want that hit, and you don't care how you get it.
Looping out of the batter, lined into a double play, fly to the pitch out, fly to left and fly to center. I think I don't know who the official scorer is today, but I think his judgment was based on the fact that Glenn Hoffman had to backhand the ball out on the outfield grass a step or two, and even with his good arm had to hurry the throw. I'm looking at it from that possible side of the coin. One ball, no strikes. Big Lou. And today we celebrated the anniversary of the Lou Gehrig Day here on July 4th, 1939, and his nickname was Larapin Lou. Still holds a couple of records. The pop-up, and the ball is going foul, and is it playable?
No, what a play.
What a play.
Palermo's down, throw to second, and Winfield advances. Home plate umpire Steve Palermo was hurt.
Yep. He ran into the wall along with the catcher to see if the catch was legally made, and he banged into the barrier. Billy Martin on your left. Yankee trainers, now the other umpires. Here's that catch again. He disappeared from view.
Great catch right here by Jeff Newman. Tremendous play.
Reaching as far as he can and through the hands of would-be fan receivers.
And a great heads-up play by Dave Winfield. Just assuming that this ball is caught, Winfield tagging up, immediately heading for second base, making it easily. And Steve Palermo, home plate umpire, still down as you watch Jeff Newman on the replay. Great play, great effort by Jeff Newman.
It was not too much of a risk on the part of Winfield, because once the ball was foul, he couldn't have been...
That's right, but a heads-up play.
Oh, alertness, no question about that.
41,077.
Steve Palermo.
You know, most guys at first base have just watched that foul ball. Winfield right on top of it, was moving. Once he lost sight of Newman and the ball, he headed for second base. As you look at Steve Palermo. We're going to watch that play again as Newman goes over. Makes a great play on the ball and that guy's hat. He comes up with the ball and throws the hat, too.
Yeah.
The hat beat him to second base. The ball didn't. We'll see that on Mel Allen's show this week in baseball.
Well, we had a similar play of that. I think it's, you'll see it. It was on yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. This is the holiday. The third base went over. He took it was shirt day. He took the T-shirt out. Mike Schmidt of the Phillies. Only he didn't have to throw.
Well, Billy Martin, I'm sure, questioning whether or not Newman caught the ball because home plate umpire Steve Palermo obviously did not see it. He was down. But now the Yankees have a runner on second base, Dave Winfield, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2-0 Yankees on top of the Sox. And Don Baylor, who homered in this ball game, a solo shot his last time up, will be the batter. All the attention shortly will center on Dave Righetti as they're going to walk Don Baylor here and pitch to Butch Weiniger.
There's the first one. Well, Ralph Houck there has more respect for the long ball hitting propensity of Don Baylor than he does of Butch Weiniger.
You know,
in this ballpark, batting right-handed.
Now you're going to see a guy come to the plate, Butch Weiniger, who's catching a no-hitter. On his mind is the game. Very, very important. He's going to be an offensive player in a moment, and he has to drive in a big run. They have to win this ballgame. Number 2, he knows how important a no-hitter is to not only Dave Righetti, but himself. He'd love to catch a no-hitter. And it's going to be tough, really, to get the defense out of his mind right now.
That's the third walk given up by John Tudor, pitching one of his best games ever. Struck out 2. 2 big ones with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. And the Yankees got their first run. Baylor's homer got their second run. There's a strike. That's another reason last time Baylor was up, he rocked one into the seats, and Ralph Houck don't take any more chances there. Weiniger, nothing for 3. A little outside, although his shot was a judgment call by the scorer in the 2nd inning. He ripped one through the legs of Wade Boggs. 2-base error, and popped out to second, flying to left. Throw down to first, and could have been right on target. Could have been a little bit closer. Dave Stapleton came running over, but had to reach a little bit over to the second base side of that.
This ball, I'll tell you, just misses Don Baylor as he's sliding back into first base. Wow. Tough throw right there when you go sidearm and you throw naturally overhand.
Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Yankees 2, Red Sox nothing. Last game of the 4-game series. Red Sox have won 2. The Yankees would like to make it their win number 2 out of the series. There go the runners. Foul ball off to the right of the plate, into the mezzanine, and then ricocheting downstairs. Paid attendance today, 41,077. Well over 100,000 this 4-game series. Weiniger takes it outside. Full count. Dave Righetti's been sitting in the dugout a long while. I don't know whether he is over-rested or not.
I would only worry about that if it was a cool day. It's a nice hot day. He should be.
Sometimes you lose your little touch.
He might be stronger, though.
Runners are ready to go. There they go, and it's ball 4 to load them up as Tudor walks his 4th man. Winfield moves over to 3rd. Baylor to 2nd. Weiniger to first, and the batter is Steve Kemp. Was Stanley warming up before?
Yes, he's been warming up throughout the game. He's got more pitches than Righetti and Tudor.
He's just watching right now. 2 men out, bases jammed. And Steve Kemp lines one, base hit to right field. Winfield will score. Baylor rounds third. He comes in to score. Headed to third is Weiniger. And the Yankees lead 4-0. Sizzling Steve Kemp. That's Weiniger on third. Don Zimmer patting him on the back. And out of the dugout comes Ralph Houk. But Steve Kemp, the man who made the great play in the field to start the 8th inning, retiring the first batter, leaping over the foul barrier, gets the base hit, Fran.
Here it is again. Kemp getting out there in a hurry and pulling that pitch on the outside part of the plate, hitting a bullet in the right field. It's a long single for Kemp. He respected Dwight Evans' arm, and the Yankees pick up 2 runs. They now have runners on first and third. As Mel mentioned, the score now Yankees 4, Red Sox nothing. Breathing room for Righetti as far as the win is concerned, but he won't lose that edge in pursuit of no-hitter.
It won't keep the Red Sox from trying to break it up. They always say, if he gets it, fine, but he's going to have to earn it.
That's right. And as I mentioned earlier, it's an embarrassment for a team to be having no-hitter thrown against them.
39 RBIs for Kemp this year. Well, there's that man Weiniger you've been trying to talk to us.
Yes, and he's done a fine job first half of '83. I asked him about the first half of 1983. Which Weiniger this year?
Well, so far, the first half of the season, I'm very happy with it. I think that I didn't set any goals for myself. I knew that if the Yankees would sign Rick Cerrone during the offseason, and if I stayed with the ball club, I knew Rick and I were going to split some time. All I did was I moved to Florida this winter, hoping to get myself in the best shape I could and go to spring training, have a good spring, and then make Billy's decision on who to use a little more tougher. I had a good spring, and we started out the season by platooning, Rick and I. And, you know, it's Billy's decision on what he does. I come to the ballpark each day, and I, you know, look at the lineup. If I'm in there, I go out there and give it the best job I can. And so far, I've been in there a little more than Rick. And, of course, Rick and I both want the starting job, and we'll just each take it as it comes.
Bob Stanley has come in to relieve Tudor. 2 down. There's a strike. Runners on first and third, 2 runs in. 4-0 New York, last of the 8th. Roy Smalley, the batter, takes it inside. A 1-1 count. Foul ball beyond third, out of play. John Tudor went 7 2/3 innings, giving up 8 hits. Walked 4, struck out 2, been charged with 4 runs. Smalley takes it up high. Roy grounded out to first. Got a key single in the 5th inning, following one by Kemp. And then Robertson got a single that drove Kemp in for the Yankees' first run. Baylor's homer got the second one in. Has a little tap down toward first to Stapleton. Steps on first to retire the side. 2 runs for New York. 2 hits. No errors and 2 left on at the end of 8 innings. It's Yankees 4, Red Sox nothing, and look out, 9th inning.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Gurney. That's my father Dan out there. He thinks the best way you can have fun is take your Toyota Celica, paint it funny, and drive it around the track as fast as you can.
Boy, it's fun driving around the track as fast as you can.
But not me. I think the best way you can have fun in a Celica is to leave it just the way it is, then drive it around town as slow as you can.
Hi, Jimmy!
Wow.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
This Bud's for everyone who takes on the heavy loads.
This Bud's for you. For all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do. This Bud's for you.
Fans watch for Sports Channel's Billy Martin poster giveaway during each home telecast after the All-Star break. We'll select one lucky viewer who will receive this Sports Channel Billy Martin poster that you've seen on buses and subways around your area. Please send your postcards to Sports Channel Martin Poster, P.O. Box 234, Woodbury, W-O-O-D-B-U-R-Y, New York, zip 11797. And you saw on your screen the season total attendance for the Yankees. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the fans have been standing and they roared applause for Righetti as he went out to the mound for a ninth inning in which this young left-hander, he must have all kinds of butterflies in his stomach right now. The Yankees leading 4-0. Jeff Newman, the batter. And they'll roar on every pitch here now if Dave Righetti can turn the trick. There have been 8 hits in the game. The Yankees have had them all. Only 3 Red Sox have reached base, all on walks. 1-1 the count on Jeff Newman. That first man is a big man. Up high, ball 2, 2-1. Glenn Hoffman's out on deck. Whether or not he hits, we'll see. Right now, it's Jeff Newman. And there's another ball. 3-1 the count. Eddie Yost giving the sign from third. Probably gave him a hit sign. Strike 2, full count. And Dave Righetti's in a spot here where he's just going to have to match power with power. Just trying to give it all he's got and get in the strike zone. Hope that he can get the job done. Foul back. Count remains 3-2. Crowd roaring. Full count on Jeff Newman. And he's on. Ball 4. The 4th Red Soxer to reach base, all on walks. And Glenn Hoffman's going to bat. Then you'll have Jerry Remy and Wade Boggs. Dave Righetti. Anxious, confident, but the butterflies are really on it. Curveball over for a strike. They're on him and in him. As well as this 40,000-plus crowd. Foul ball out of play into the mezzanine. No balls, 2 strikes. Tension has gripped Yankee Stadium here. And you can imagine the pressure that Dave Righetti is under right now. 9th inning. Glenn Hoffman. It's a foul ball into the Red Sox dugout. 2 strikes to count. There you see Ralph Houk looking on as he, as usual, steps to the front of the dugout. Now, the Yankee dugout, they're trying to move somebody over. They're trying to move Campaneris at third. And Martin says, play back deep. 2 strikes on the batter. Don't worry about a bunt here. He's still and 2. With 2 outs. There might have been 3 outs sometimes. Sometimes you just go and swing at a pitch like that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Glenn Hoffman is the batter. It's a ground ball hit to short. Smalley to Robertson for 1. Back to first. Still safe. He's safe, but wait a minute. He's safe. Here's that play again. Hoffman grounds the ball to Smalley. Smalley tosses over to Robertson for 1. Robertson's throw to first pulls Mattingly off the bag, and his foot's off the bag, and he can't get it back before Hoffman reaches first base. So no DP, just a force out at second. No error on the play, but instead of just 1 out to go, Dave Righetti's got 2 outs to go if he makes it. Jerry Remy up, a guy who can put the ball in play. Struck out, grounded to short, popped to third. Mattingly playing in close at first. There's a bouncer hit to Robertson. Robertson throws it to first for the sure out. No chance for a double play. Now the 1 out to go. Will he do it? This crowd is standing. This crowd is wild. The Yankees leading 4-0. And Wade Boggs, one of the top hitters in the American League, standing between Dave Righetti and a pitcher's dream. Tough man to get out. Outside, ball 1. What's his batting average? Ain't on the thing here. 361 is what he was batting going into this game. Wade Boggs. Dave Righetti trying to get him out. 2 outs. There's the strike, and it's 1-1, and this crowd is roaring. There's Billy Martin, nervous. Everybody on the bench is nervous. Even on the Red Sox bench, they're trying to break it up. Dave Righetti under the toughest sort of pressure. Will he get it? Wade Boggs swings and misses. Strike 2. 1 strike away for Dave Righetti. This crowd is going nuts. There is Ralph House looking on. Everybody in Yankee Stadium standing. They're roaring. A 361 hitter at the plate. The Red Sox trailing 4-0. The runner on second, but a foul ball out of play beyond third. Dave Righetti, who has permitted only 3 Sox to reach base all on walks, has got just about as tough a man to get out as the Red Sox can put up at the plate. It's the 9th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hoffman on second. And Boggs takes just outside, ball 2. The deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There they are. The deuces are wild. Billy Martin, anxious. And the crowd standing. 40,000 plus people standing and roaring. And Righetti trying to get Boggs. And he gets it! A no-hitter! A no-hitter! A no-hitter for Dave Righetti! How about that? He got the no-hitter! Look at the Yankees batting and grabbing. Dave Righetti pitches the first no-hitter by a Yankee since 1956 when. And there is former Vice President Nixon applauding from the stands. A strikeout, former president. And the first no-hitter by a Yankee pitcher since Don Larson in 1956 in the World Series. A perfect game. How about that? Sports Channel is proud to bring you the Yankees' first no-hitter since 1956. Dave Righetti. 24-year-old southpaw, and the crowd is staying and roaring. With no runs in the 9th inning, no hits, no errors, one left on. Congratulations, Dave Righetti. Four-year-old left-hander, and is he a proud guy? A no-hitter on July 4th. And a happy birthday it is for George M. Steinbrenner as he watched his ace left-hander hurl a no-hitter. And the fans are still yelling for Dave Righetti to come back out. Here's that last pitch now before he achieved a pitcher's dream to Wade Boggs with 2 strikes on him. A beautiful ball that sank, and he swung over it. And Weinigers, you saw leap, and watch them now as they meet between the mound and home plate. And I love you, baby. I love you. And so does Sports Channel. Rags. That's Righetti's nickname. How about that? And look at him. Dave Righetti, who has just achieved something that every pitcher dreams, and at the age of 24, soon to be 25, he's finally sitting on the edge of the Yankee dugout to take a deep breath and try to realize what he has done. He has pitched a no-hitter, and rare is the pitcher who ever achieves one in his lifetime. The Yankees 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Red Sox no runs, no hits, and 1 error. Rest a while there, Dave. We're going to be right back with Fran Healy and his post-game show. Final look at the Sports Channel scoreboard right after this.
This Bud's for everyone who's got the heart and courage to go the distance. Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
For everybody who's been making do, I'm doing without.
Come up to Goodyear.
Dave Righetti, sitting on the edge of the Yankee steps as the crowd still is applauding and yelling his name as he pitched a no-hitter, the first by a Yankee pitcher since Don Larson in the World Series of 1956. Of course, Larson's was a perfect game, the only one in series history. Previous no-hitters by Yankee pitchers: Tommy Hughes against Cleveland, George Mogridge against the Red Sox, a left-hander, 1917, Sam Jones, Bonnie Pearson, 2 by Allie Reynolds in 1951, Larson, and Dave Righetti. And Fran Healy is down in the Yankee dugout, and I give you one guess as to who his post-game guest is. Take it away, Fran.
Okay, thank you very much, Mel Allen. Dave Righetti, your feelings in the 8th and 9th inning?
I wasn't actually hoping we'd make outs, but I just wanted to get back out there and either get it over with, let them get the hit or whatever. But once we scored again, I think it let some of the pressure off, because then I could pitch and I could throw pitches that maybe they couldn't handle, and I didn't have to worry about walking them. With a 2-0 lead, I had to worry about a walk and a home run. So that 2 extra runs were great, and they battled their ass off, and excuse me, and so did I.
Dave, it's a tremendous thrill to throw a no-hitter any place. But how about throwing a no-hitter at Yankee Stadium, a place your father wanted to play?
Well, it is nice. It is. I guess the last one was when Larson threw one in the World Series. So, and Don lives near me, and we both wore number 19. So maybe that had a little
nostalgia to it, but it's nice, and my father, I'm sure, is real proud, and happy birthday to my mother.
Dave, did you have... We're going to have some Budweiser right now. Dave, did you have any doubts whatsoever about throwing the no-hitter in the 8th or the 9th inning?
Hell yeah. I knew they had a chance because I was going to throw strikes and I was going to challenge them. And the guys made great plays. Steve Kemp made a great, fantastic play. These guys played great defense, and I threw the ball where I guess I had to today. Maybe they were tired after all that hitting they did for 3 days.
Did you change your program at all during the game, for example, after the 6th inning?
No, I was wondering if how strong I was going to be in this heat. But once I found out I was still okay, I just said to hell with it and keep throwing hard.
You mentioned the heat. Before the ball game, it was terrible on this field. If I said to you before the game, you get a chance of completing the game, would you have doubted it?
Yeah, maybe. I had a game like this last year against Baltimore, and I tried to put that game in perspective with this one. I tried to throw the same type of game, and I thought about the heat, and I didn't try to pace myself, but I didn't let it bother me either. I just didn't get all crazy about it. I just relaxed and threw the ball, and it just happened to go where they weren't today, I guess.
Dave, the superstition in the dugout is nobody can mention a no-hitter. Did anybody do it?
You did. I went in the I went upstairs in the 9th inning like I do every inning. I always change my gum. And I'm listening to the game, and just a little bit, the sound was up a little bit, and I said, and I heard you say something about a no-hitter, and I was going, oh, Jesus, I'm going to kill him if you, you know, but I wanted to say it myself, walk up and down the bench and say it myself, but shit, I was too nervous.
Yeah, but Dave, up in the booth, there's no superstition. Down here there is. I thank you. Congratulations on the win, the no-hitter, and you know something? I think you'll throw another one.
Thank you. Happy 4th of July.
Now back upstairs to Mel Allen.
Nice going, Dave Righetti. And we'll be right back with the Sports Channel scoreboard as Dave Righetti takes another bow in just a moment.